into branch success. Okay. So we talked about this every TLA. What are the 4 things that make you or make someone a good manager? What are the 4 keys to being a successful manager? Give me one of them. Don't shout them all out. Charlie was the first one.
Master SMRA.
Mastering SMRA. Okay. Now, before we get into this and go to the next 3, I want to quantify. Okay. What does quantify mean? That's a big word. They don't cover that at Radford.
They don't.
Can someone else from another school tell me what quantify means?
We don't teach this.
Charlie knows at UVA they quantify grade levels. I'm a first year. I'm a second year. What were you saying, Natalie?
Make it numeric.
Yes, make it numeric. So quantify, put numbers to it, right? Be able to measure it. And when something's measurable, you can get progress growing it or lowering it, right? Motion, not emotion. And what that means is anytime I see a manager go out for the summer and they don't do so hot, a lot of times it's just indecision. A lot of times it's analysis paralysis, where they're just like, there's too many things to do and they just don't do anything. Or, I could do it, but what's the point? Or I should do it, but I'm not doing it. Or
finding every reason why this program won't work and then telling us.
right. And trying to quantify the opposite versus just doing something. You know what I mean? And I think to be a successful manager, I would jot this down. It's about being resourceful and creative on what you can do versus focusing on what you can't do. Because every territory is different, right? Every territory is different. If you look at the territories in the division, they all have their strengths and weaknesses. You could look at Northern Virginia and be like, oh yeah, well, Andy's got the highest income area of whatever. You look at Richmond, it's like, man, it's a massive population, but probably 60% of it's unrecruitable, right? But there's pockets that are really, really good. If you look at, something like Roanoke, for example, it's a very low cost of living, but it's also lower household income. So
you also have less options. Like you have less options. They have less options, so it's easier to recruit.
Less options to work.
Higher income, but there's more options. So it's a different. There's no such thing as a benefit. There's only such thing as a trade-off. So like if you want higher income, you will have to then compete with better opportunities.
Yep.
If you have a lower income, you have less to compete with. Therefore, you have a more marketable opportunity, right? So there's trade-offs to everything you do, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I thought that
No,
was
it's good.
an important thing to say.
That's good. So it's about finding what you can do. So here's the branch opportunity. Let me throw this at you. If you ran a branch office, okay, we're going to talk heavily about SMRAs today. I want you thinking, and we kind of talked about this at one of the last TLAs. I want you thinking, I have a budget for SMRAs, call it $1,200, $1,500, $1,700, however much you want to throw at it. Okay. There really isn't I threw too much at SMRAs and I wasted money. It's just there is, you're not going to hit it. So let's say you threw 1,500 at it. That was your budget. You want to get in a branch, you want to get one of those SMRAs to get you to like be a successful SMRA. Like if I had all of you as SMRAs and Santi did it, I paid him $150. He didn't get me any PRs. And I was like, hey, this isn't a good fit. And then Des did it and she wasn't a good fit. Natalie did it and she wasn't a good fit. And Joelle's did it. And I got 1 or 2 kids that sold 3 or 4K and got me a PR chain. Nailed it. That is now a successful program, even if the other 4 or 5 or 6 that I hire are not successful. But now that you've gotten some success, it's more likely that the rest of the SMRAs will be more successful. And so you want to get like 1 out of 12 to hit.
So to Andy's point, it doesn't matter how the percentage of the SMRAs that hit. It matters how big the ones that hit. So for example, when I started this summer, we didn't really have a lot of momentum. So I recruited a bunch of SMRAs. A lot of them were actually from St. Chris. I never even gotten to St. Chris. And we had one kid, I'm literally blank. We had this kid named EJ who got me basically nobody that was any good. Terrible, whatever. Kale Rogie got me a lot of really solid people, but all solid. And then Connor Campbell got me 2 decent kids. One of them is sitting right there. So the fact is that I won. no matter what happened with the rest of the SMRAs. And then we had a girl named Ruby Watson on our team, and she got me damn near half of our team. I mean, if I list off our team, it's just Ruby Watson, from Ruby Watson, from Ruby Watson. And it was only 2, but I probably hired, like you said, probably about 12 SMRAs. 2 really hit, but they hit so big it made up for literally everything. And here's the other thing you gotta be thinking about too, as a business owner, your number one job is to advertise so people know you exist, correct? Would that be accurate to say? Cool, because no one knows you exist. Can they apply with you? Can they buy from you? Of course not. So let me ask you a question. What do you guys think the annual ad revenue is? Like just advertising revenue is on Instagram last year, 2024. Just Instagram alone.
Billion. Yeah.
Higher.
2.5 billion.
Higher. I looked this up. It's like
30 billion.
higher.
Okay.
Higher.
Whoa.
66.7 billion. B with a B. Snapchat, by the way, has just started doing ads, 5.6 billion, and they've only been starting to do ads about 5 years ago. Here's my question. If you're a business owner, you're not advertising on social media, what do you know that like the other people, that these Fortune 500s who are spending billions in revenue don't? Are we that arrogant to be like, yeah, you know what? I know SMRAs, Andy says to do them, but like, I know better. It's like, okay, well, granted, you're not running ads, but guess what you do get to have? You get to have SMRAs that actually put up posts, and then guess what you have? You have a warm network. If you don't have, like, for example, if you don't have anything going with SMRAs, go on campus, hand out cards that say social media recruiting assistant, $15 an hour, and do that instead, and you'll get some good people from that.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need a massive network. Connor Campbell at 800 followers. Got Charlie Agnew from it. Like Ruby Watson, she got us probably, she probably got us 10 legit reps over 5K, and she had like about 1,500 followers. It wasn't like as if she had 10,000 followers, right? But you're trying to like, it's not about what percentage hit. You're not gonna be like, well, this one didn't make me money, and this one didn't make me money, this one didn't make money. It's, did the program make you money?
Mm-hmm.
It's the program. It's like your money. And by the way, if you're looking for reasons for things not to work, you could always find them. Like, I promise you that.
You also can't do one SMRA, they don't hit, and then you decide the program doesn't work. It's like a rep in your training that does one demo, sells a trimmer, and goes, sales isn't for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And by the way, in the fall, it's different conversion than winter break. Winter break, you get better conversion.
Mm-hmm.
Spring, you get a little bit less. And then the summer, you get a massive amount because people are looking for jobs, jobs actually looking, right? And by the way, if you think about it, those posts that get put up are the people who are looking for jobs to begin with.
Yep.
The active reach outs is how you get the people who are like iffy, right? So like understand that when we're going into it, it's not the percentage that hit, it's about how big is the program yet, and do you give it a chance?
During the summertime, how many weeks are there in the summer?
14.
There's 18. There's 18 in the Cutco summer. Okay. That would be May, June, July, August. 18 weeks. And how many weeks is branch really?
12. 14.
It's like 6 recruiting weeks. And then you have a team, then you're selling personally for SC2, and then you're kind of done selling. So it looks like, so the way I always do my, like if I'm jotting stuff down on a sheet of paper in planning, May, June, July, August, I always look at it like this. 1, 2, 3. Are there 5 in July or May? Is that?
Yeah, 5 weeks in May, and then 4 June, 4 July, 5 August.
Okay. I always look at it like this. Now, here's the challenge. If you're looking at last year's DM class, okay, last summer, Kaylin is a great example. Kaylin graduated here, and then Kaylin had her brother's graduation here. And so I think, if you ask Kaylin this is one of the things we talked about in her cap, her end of the summer conversation. She didn't really start worrying about recruiting until here. Okay. Now, if you use Vicky as an example, Vicky said, hey, when do I need to stop being party hardy and focus on Cutco summer? And what was the date we figured out?
I said April 15th, and I was like, that's way too late, so I said April 1st.
Yep. And you and I talked about May 15th, you're in Cutco mode. Do you remember that? Or sorry, March 15th. That way you could mentally process, hey, I'm going to be working my butt off. and we got everything rolling in April. Okay, so the way you want to think about this is when is like the busy season. If this were Busch Gardens, right? When does Busch Gardens, like if this is low, this is high, when does their like attendance peak is what I'm looking at. Something like this, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, why is that the case? What happens here?
It's gonna school.
College, okay? And what happens here?
High school.
High school. And both of those converge. So our busy time is basically here until when does kids kind of, when's like there's no point anymore in getting a job.
Last week in July.
Yeah, like here. Okay, so if we were to talk about a sweet spot, what do you guys want to name this? This would be like good, good, really good,
Just right.
just right. Baby Bears porridge. The other divisions call it gold period, and then this is platinum period. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to quantify this for you. That way you can get this down. So SMRAs and pay to post. You want to get 2 to 3 launched per week in gold and 3 to 5 launched per week in platinum. Launched. So think like a recruiter. If you need to have 2 to 3 launched, how many do you need to have set for training?
10.
By 10. Yep. Now, if you launch more than that, is that a bad thing? No, you're just spending more of your budget early. Okay. Now, if you're a branch manager, you're going to stop recruiting here. So you don't have a gold period. And you're going to be selling here. Yeah, because that's SC2 push. And what's cool is you get paid on your team all the way through the end of the summer. So the second thing is PRs and replication. Sorry, what's the second key to being a successful manager? Thanks, Des. PRs and replication. So once you have people on the team, what's the most important thing you do as a manager? On a week-to-week basis. Set PRs. Okay. Most important thing you do as a manager on a week-to-week basis. Nick, when you go as a DM, guess what? 20 a week, no matter what. Okay. If you're not doing that, you're not doing your job. 20 a week, no matter what. Branches, 20 a week, no matter what. So you get the opportunity over winter break to have a mini summer. We call it branch over break. Okay. Right now, Santi's setting 20-something PRs a week around high school. And when summer lets out, he's going to have nothing in his way. He's going to be able to do the same thing. So when he's less busy, it's a lot easier. You're good. Come on in. I don't know what that is, but
It's our water.
DoorDash. Gotcha. So 20 a week. And then as a team, here's the deal. If you only have you setting PRs, you're not going to scale it. You want to get PR callers with you and assistant managers, and you want to take that thing to like 80 to 100 to 120. We'll go through your exact PR numbers during the summertime, during your caps. What's the third thing that it takes? Third key.
Training and first 10-day management.
Yeah, so you need to be good at training and first 10-day management. So let's talk about that. So as a district manager, year round, you want to launch 5 a week. That would be a solid office, 5 a week launched. When they launch, how many demos do you need to have each rep leave training with ideally during the summertime? 10. 15 would be great. 10 is like, let's get them to 10. Fall and spring, you can be a little lighter on that. And then how much CPO do you want your average rep to create before they get back to advanced training on Monday?
2 to 3 K.
That'd be great. That'd be high. That'd be awesome. If you're doing that, you're kicking everyone's ass. So $1,000, you want $1,000. They do 10 demos. Here's an easy way to think about it. Watch me. This is a good way that you can explain it. This is how Drew Frank explains it. Okay. Hey gang, I want you to do 10 demos this weekend. Here's why you want to do 10 demos this weekend. Notice how I said that twice. Okay. Here's why I want you to do 10 demos this weekend. If you book 10 demos this weekend, guess what? You're probably going to have about 2 cancel, maybe 3. How many are you left with? 7. Sorry, I'm confused with my fingers here. You're gonna have 7 demos completed. And how many, if you're just average, you're gonna sell on 60%. You sell on 60%, you're probably gonna sell on about 4. 4 sales. Our company average is 250. Okay. 250 times 4 is what? $1,000. And you're gonna hit your first promotion this weekend because you did 10 demos this weekend. You booked 10 demos, you set 10 demos, completed 7, sold on 4. And it's not even getting killer results. And you hit your first promotion, you got a pay raise, you're confident, you feel good. And also those 7 demos times 10 referrals, now you have 70 more people to call. How much more confident are you gonna be this weekend having done 10 demos this weekend? Okay, because you know that that's best for them. They're gonna leave training with 10 demos, hit their first promotion. Make sense? And then what's the 4th thing to being a successful manager?
Creating demo.
Creating demos. So when you get kids to a team meeting, how many do you want them to set at a team meeting?
10.
10 would be great.
5.
5 would be good. 7 is the number you want to shoot for. 7 demos per rep at the team meeting. Now, that sounds high, Natalie, right? Let me teach you how to do that. So think about the process of a rep. I'm gonna blow your mind here real quick. You ready for this? Okay. So you get your brand new reps to do 10 first weekend. They're not gonna hit it, but that's the goal. They come back to advanced training on Monday. At advanced training on Monday, what are we gonna have them do? Book more. Okay, so they're gonna come into Wednesday excited. Hopefully you retain all of them. You want to get your new launch in for advanced training 2, which is when you teach them the acquaintance approach, referral approach, right? And then you get them phone jamming early, and then you invite some of your key players in early and you get your key staff in early. That's how you get 7 demos average per rep at the phone jam. It's just phone jamming longer, basically. But they're coming in early and phone jamming more. So the same thing with Sunday. If you get someone in Sunday, you can invite your reps that are brand new, the trainees, to come to the Sunday paycheck meeting if they don't have demos. They can come in. It's an invite, not an obligation, but you get them in, they can start making phone calls. All right. So let's say you sell 100K for your summer. You want 50K CPO coming from SMRAs. It gets you into the market. And so what's 50K divided by like 2 or 3?
That was 17.
Cool. So am I doing that wrong? No, if you launch like 15 to 20 SMRAs, yeah, that'll get you 50K CPO, right? Makes sense.
And with the SMRAs that we launch, when do we start that cycle?
It's a good question. So what I would do is gonna be a runway. Well, instead of me telling you, what do you guys think?
Oh, I remember from our conversation kind of going into TLA, it was really start getting it going like April, get SMRAs going, start building a big first training.
Bingo.
So it's April 15th that you should have like 5 SMRAs before your first training.
Nothing the second.
Yeah, if you're all online, you can have your first training seminar May 1st. You could run one in April if you wanted to, but it's going to be situational. Our schools do get out earlier this year, which is good. My branch, I started my first seminar May 15th. So it feels a little late, but it wasn't because I had a 2-3 week wind up to like get it going. So really, we're going to talk individually in your cap, in your one-on-one before you go branch, Graham. So let's call it 3 weeks. So 3 weeks before April 15th would be what? End of March. So end of March is when you want to get the sourcing started, when you want to start messaging. Probably April 1st. SMRAs. So start messaging April 15th and then, or sorry, April 1st. And you want to get your first launch around April 15th.
SMRA launch,
launch. Yep. Why?
because then you can start building that first training class.
Yep. And what do you want to do with that first SMRA class?
Put them as reps, right?
You want to get more SMRAs from the SMRAs, right? You want to get more SMRAs from the SMRAs.
You offer like an incentive, like, hey, if you give me another.
Yes.
30%.
We usually do bonuses. So if you look at the top left, Santi, can you like turn your phone sideways and get a picture of that one, like a better picture? Vicky's gonna put your Instagram on blast, so we'll see how bad it is.
Think mine?
Yeah. See how good your picture taking abilities are. And so this is kind of the situation. So April 15th, let's say the Friday after that is the 18th. That's when you want to launch them. And so they go through training. They make a top 20 list. Then you get them in Saturday, which would be the 19th. I'm making up dates right now. That'd be their first shift. They sit down, they post, they pay to post. You get more SMRAs. They make a top 20 list. You download Vector Impact, do the team builder. And then Sunday is their second shift. They post again. You get paid to post. You're setting PRs.
And those are really easy ways to set PRs too.
Super easy.
Okay.
Super easy.
So is that better, like worth more of our time to focus not solely, but heavily on SMRAs? And
Absolutely.
leave
So if you had a choice between, this would be something good for all of you. If you had a choice between working with and setting SMRA PRs or calling straight from a list from day 3, which would you do?
No. SMRAs.
SMRAs for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Easy to set. You can set a lot per hour. So it's a good point.
How early would you be in and off before you actually run your first training? A month?
I'll give you an example. So I took over the pilot, winter break, December 26th. December 27th was our big dance. I moved all my stuff in on the 26th and got it set up overnight. Internet got installed on the 27th at 11 a.m. Training was at 1.
My first team meeting in Chesapeake, I had moved my stuff in by 4 p.m. on Wednesday in Chesapeake, and we're in a team meeting at 6.
It was insane.
So like a week at max.
So don't do that. Like you want to have like
You can?
If you're really late, Graham, then you need to, let's say you're taking like full 16-week classes, let's say you got like May 10th or whatever, and you want to run a train, and you're like, I gotta get going. Run a train on May 11th, dog. Like,
Here's the deal. Grip and rip it. Fuck it, we ball.
yeah.
Okay?
Just
Yeah.
Situation's the boss.
fuck your feelings.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
And then in all the expenses, not that you just gonna.
There's no real reason.
There's a balancing act, right? Ideally, you get May 1st as your start date for your office, and they let you move in 15 days ahead of time for free. Or a month in early for free. If you can sweet talk. Because then you've got that full window, right? All right, cool. So that should get you plenty of interviews. You're running interviews virtually. You can do this from home. You can do it from Zach's office, whatever. And you're interviewing. If you got the third shift to be like the 19th or the 20th, okay? You're now running interviews that following Monday, which would be like the 21st or something. And you've got like 10 days of interviews, and then your first training is like on the 2nd or 3rd of May. Probably not a lot of college students. And then you got a big training the next week that you can build up towards, and that's the college students. That's when the shit hits the fan. Mailers launch.
With that though, like with the SMRAs, so if we're doing the SMR training, say April 15th, they're launched by the 18th,
Mhm.
right? They're moving, rolling their first week. They get me 10 PRs through the door,
Yep.
interview them, I set them for training.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be more beneficial to wait? Because I know from the pilot this summer, we had to fix it. We had tons of issues with putting people's trainings too far in advance, and then it just gets lost and jumbled. I remember I did that a couple times with really good people.
Yeah, it's tough. You could. And if you wait, you're going to get less. So if you go early and you get a lot more people, but they get lost in the shuffle, you still have more. Right? Since we're a recruiting business, my vote is more. Yeah.
So something that I had a lot of trouble with in May is I was always load up super heavy, would get everybody in, go through everybody, would have them all set. And then I would get I have finals, I have crap off of school.
So we
and
also
then
have to
put
do
them
it.
in the back, push them out in advance, and then they just trickle off and it just
Yep.
fell.
So at our summer kill meeting, we're gonna look at dates. And this is just kind of we're talking in general, right? But yeah, you're right. So you want to set them where exams aren't a conflict. Right? But you're also going to get people that don't have exams and or good students that just they just don't have any exams. Right?
Let me share desktop 2. Okay, can you guys see that? Like the mountains? Okay. All right, let's play a fun game, guys. Okay, now I actually have notes for this one. Okay, guys, we're gonna play a fun little game called a respond or ignore. So, can you guys see that on Zoom, by the way? Okay. All right, so we're gonna play respond or ignore. So the way I want to start off talking about SMRAs is from the most important part, which is the source, which is your Instagrams. Now, I'm sure some of you are probably thinking now, like, oh, I gotta change mine. So I'm gonna go through your guys' Instagrams and nitpick them. And then I'm also gonna go through, what a good Instagram page looks like and why it's important, and then we'll get into all the SMRA stuff. Good? Okay. So, rules of the game. No getting butthurt. It's nothing personal, I promise. This is gonna help you. It's nothing against you guys. Once I go through everyone's Instagram, we're gonna vote as a group whether we're gonna respond or ignore. If you got a message from them, by the way. And then I'm gonna give you my opinions on it. So think of this as, hey, if you were getting messaged by your own account offering the SMRA position and the SMRA role, would you respond or ignore? Just by looking at that account. Now, before we start, the reason why I'm doing this is because if you're messaging through your own account, I'm pretty sure all of you do this, but I know I do it. If I get a DM, I'm immediately going to the profile and seeing who it is. I'm an SMRA PR, by the way. One of my friends, Kenzie, was advertising on social media. I saw it, bam. She was my friend, granted, so I already knew like who she was and I trusted her. But if you're cold outreaching to all these people, now the first thing they're gonna look at, I guarantee you, is their profile. You're gonna be messaging like sorority girls, frat guys, the popular people. They're gonna look at your profile, I promise you. And if it's not good, they're not gonna respond to you. And then that's where you waste money spending on messaging. All right, so wrong computer. Standards to a good Instagram profile. So first off, your bio. Now, does it state anything about you? So like school, does it state like if you're on like a frat or sorority, does it state your area? One thing about having in your bio, when you guys do get your territories, if you go out, change your bio to, let's say Graham, you get Charlottesville. Change your bio to Charlottesville, Virginia. Let's say Charlie, you get Richmond. Change your bio to Richmond. And the way you kind of frame your bio is you want to make them feel like you're the exact same age of them from their territory. So, Charlie, if you're messaging someone from Richmond, I know you're from Richmond, but let's say you're not. You need to make sure that you have Richmond in your bio. I wouldn't recommend putting like a graduation date or when you graduate high school or college. Yeah, like UVA, have like Charlottesville, Virginia, Richmond, something like that. That way, when they look, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, like I live in Richmond too. Okay, I'm more likely to trust this person. Reason why you don't want to have anything about like, hey, when you graduate or when you graduate high school, because let's say you don't graduate until, or no, let's say you already graduated back in 2024. If they're graduating in 2028 from college and you graduated already last year, they're going to be like, I don't really know because the person's way older than you. Second, profile picture. Profile picture is super important. When you get a DM, all they see in the initial DM is your profile picture. So you need to make sure, is it a picture of you? It doesn't have to be like a professional headshot photo, but like, is it like a good, clear picture of yourself? Is also eye-catching is like, if you were to see a DM and you're like, oh yeah, profile picture, I'd respond to this person. Next off, username. This one's pretty simple. Is it just your name? Not G shitty. So yeah. So is it your name? The best way to for a username is to just have your first and last name in it. If it's something like G shitty, or if it's something like I love knives, something like that, no one's gonna respond to it. For highlights, do you have highlights? First of all, are they good highlights? Do you have a work highlight? Here's the thing, if you're messaging for a work position, at least in my case, I'm going to go to your profile and see if I can find anything about your work. And if I can't, the two thoughts going through my head is going to be, hey, like, did they get hacked? Is this a scam? I need to see visual proof of, hey, do you have something about your work so I know what I'm getting myself into? Follower to following ratio. This one's pretty self-explanatory. If you have 100 followers, but you're following 5,000 people, that looks really sketchy. A good rule of thumb, like for me, example, I think I have 4,700 followers. I'm following 5,700. That's not a great ratio, but I have a super high following, so no one really looks at my following. Or I have a super high follower count, so no one really looks at like how many people I'm following. But if you have this drastic change, people are going to be like, oh yeah, you're just mass messaging people. Peter's program will also help you with that. When they message people, they follow them, then message them. I'll go into that in a little bit later. Feed in general, how many posts do you have up? Are they good pictures? Are they like pictures of you and your friends, of you? When was the last time you posted? Are you active on social media? And public or not public, you just need to make sure you're public on Instagram. If I get a message from someone who's private, I'm not following that person. Meaning I'm not going to look at that person's page and I'm not going to respond. So these are standards to your first Instagram profile. All right, first up on the victim list. My favorite, Graham Smith. Okay, Graham, first of all, I took these screenshots like a couple days ago, so you guys won't be able to change anything. So if you got to follow for me, if you're private, it's what it's for. Okay, so Graham, first off, your bio, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. It's not bad, it's not great. So first off, you've got hookah lounge in your bio. I'd take that out 100%. If you're messaging a really sharp, like Christian Catholic girl or a really sharp Christian Catholic guy, they're gonna see hookah lounge and be like, yeah, this dude's a druggie or something. I take out hookah lounge. Nova, great, you have your territory in there. You have your Fairfax Club frat thing in there. You've got a knife emoji. So it's not bad. It could be better. So I take out hookah lounge. I'd probably expand this a little bit more. I'd say since, oh, you got Radford in there, maybe make it a little bit longer, but I wouldn't, that's not the first thing I would see and be like, yeah, I'm not responding to him. Profile photo. You have a great profile photo. This is a great picture. I wonder who is the other person in this picture. I don't know who edited this. Profile photo. It's great. I like it. It's your face. If you DM me, I'd probably, be like, okay, profile photo. Let me look at their account. Username, again, 4 out of 5. You have Graham Smith in there. It's G Smith. I'd put Graham Smith.
Way better than G shitty.
Yeah, this is better than G shitty. But Graham Smith, I changed the G into your entire name and maybe make it less complicated. So username is fine. Highlights, you don't have any. I would put some up. The way you get good highlights is by posting on your stories every day, or every other day. I'll go into that in just a second. So highlights, you build them up over time. You don't want to like post a whole bunch of them and then when they go look at your highlights, it's like, hey, like you posted all of these on October 17th of 2025. It looks weird. So highlights, you don't have any. I would make sure you at least put a work one in there. I'd maybe put one for your frat. And then like something else like the boys or something. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Follower to following, you have a pretty good follower to following ratio, 1,000 to 1,300. That's not anything that I would be like, okay, you're just mass following people. Feed in general, I'd give it a 3.5. You've got good photos, but the way you want to look at your following is that you at least need to have the first 6 photos in there. If you want a 5 out of 5, you need to make it at least 9 photos.
Wait, what?
Like here, so it's like when they open.
I'm sorry, you have 5 photos in
Yeah,
there.
so when they open it, it'll be like it'll show the first 6. So this one would like when they open it, have an empty spot.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so again, if I were to start taking, or if I were to go into your profile, great, I only see 5. Now I'm a little confused on like, okay, like this guy's not that active. Maybe he got hacked, all of that stuff.
So when I'm following on Instagram, and I'm like trying to source SMRAs, there's a lot of, especially the younger, like juniors and seniors in high school have one photo.
Yeah, it's stupid.
What's up with that?
I don't know, but
Use Instagram?
No, it's cause.
No,
it's
'cause-
a lot of times people post, they delete, post, delete.
they overthink it and then they become insecure. It's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't post this.
Yeah.
But guys, I promise you, excuse my language, no one gives a shit about how many photos you have up. You'll see that in a second. All right, so feed in general, again, I'd give it 3.5. You need to have all your pictures filled up. A good thing to also know about having a feed is that the more photos you have, the more active you are. And so, like for my feed, I've got 77 posts up.
Whoa.
Granted, I've been posting since like 2018. But I also make sure to make it a point, I'll explain this because you guys will see this afterwards. I post at least once a month on my main feed. Because now it seems active. So Graham, you posted that picture in July, August, maybe? The first one. Like the most recent
that
one.
was a while ago.
July or August. That's actually not too bad. So if I were to look at your first post, oh, he posted in August. Okay, like
Is
that
it
seems a
different
little
for
less
you, though?
sketchy. No, not at all. I promise you.
You should post every 3 to 4 months.
No.
One
If you
month.
want to have a really good Instagram, once a month is the way to do it. I make it a goal to post at least once a month. If I don't have any pictures for that month, I put a whole bunch of them together. All right. So in total, I'd give you a 25.5. And guys, if Graham messaged you on Instagram, would you respond or ignore him?
Hell yeah, respond.
Yeah, you see that face, you're like.
I would respond too.
Yes.
If Graham messaged me for a social media recruiting program, I would respond. Granted, that's not everyone, but coming from a former sorority girl who's got a lot of followers and I'm pretty active on Instagram, I'd respond to Graham.
Baby daddy.
That's.
Yeah, Batty.
That's my ball. I don't even follow like.
All right, next person.
Oh.
Who else? All right, so your Instagram feed here. Bio. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. You've got your school in there. I take out the graduation date. What's the other thing you have in there? Fundraiser link. I like that. What?
I take out the red tape.
So you, at least in my case, you want to make sure SMRAs are like, they feel like you're the same age as them so you can connect at a different level. So let's say it's someone who graduates in like 2030. They're going to see 2028 and be like, oh, you're older than me. I'm not sure if we'd connect, all that stuff. So I take out your grad date in there. Are you, I like that. That's fine. You can keep that. The fundraiser, I like. It shows that you're involved in community and everything. I would just add a little bit more. Maybe like the specific location that you're in. So you could say like Virginia Beach or you could say Chesapeake. That way it's just a little bit more intriguing. Profile photo, I give it a 3.5. It's not a bad profile photo. You want to make profile photos a lot more of your face, rather than like your entire body. So like if I clicked on your page, I'd still be able to notice like, okay, you're a real person. So that's why I'm giving you 3.5. Not bad. Again, could be better. That way I'd be more likely to respond. Username, I'd give it a 2 out of 5. JK Juice.
I had it since I think like 8th grade, and I just spelled like the I and the E, and I didn't want to change it back, so I just left it.
Okay, I changed this to your name, like Joel's Knight. That's what I would put onto it. Maybe a couple numbers in there. Highlights, you have highlights, so it's not bad. I'm giving you a 2 out of 5 because it's not, I don't see a work highlight in there. And I didn't go through your highlights, but I don't know how like often they're updated.
It's one of them was just like I was selling like my like old SAT book. I got it sold, so I should probably take it off. And like the other ones like from the founders like fundraiser that we had like last year or like last semester.
Okay, so me too. All right, so highlights. Oh, thank you. Oh, another one. I would make sure you add a little bit more, add a work highlight in there. Follower to following, I'm giving you a 2 out of 5 because you got 500 to 1700.
Dude, okay, it was when when I first got Instagram, I was like, and it kind of got really bad. Just because it was like during like COVID and like 2020, like 2020.
Okay.
And so I was like, so yeah, I need to go through some of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
My opinion, to do a lot of unfollowing, because I used to have the same problem where I didn't have enough followers, but I was following a crap load of people. Instead of doom scrolling one night, go in and like unfollow all the people that are like inactive. Makes life a lot easier. Your feed in general, you do have 6 photos, so it takes up the entire thing. Your photos are just photos of things. So there's not much that I can see about you personally.
Aesthetic.
Yeah, that's true. But you can do aesthetic and like you're real.
Yeah.
So at least in my opinion or like my experience, like most of the accounts that just have like photos of different things, they're always like spammy accounts that I don't listen or that I don't respond to. So my opinion, add more photos of yourself in Gabby's office, take like team photos, post team photos. That's always a great way to up your Instagram. Public, you're not public. I had to request to follow you. So I'm giving you a 0 out of 5 for that one. All right, next person. Oh, wait,
JKG.
just kidding. No. So
Please.
if Joel's Instagram messaged you guys, would you respond or ignore?
I would,
Ignore?
sorry.
No,
I would also ignore. All right, I would ignore. Okay, next,
I'll leave you tonight, man.
Francisco. So Francisco, bio, I would give it a 5 out of 5. He's got what he does for work in there. He's got yeah, probably, because this is what Santi's looks like. He's got what he does for work. He has his like work Instagram page. My recommendation too, when you do get a territory, make an Instagram page for it. That way it's more credible. He's got soccer in there, so more credible. He plays a sports, can relate to people. And then he's got a little quote in there, which I do like. His profile photo, giving him also a 5 out of 5. It's a pretty clear picture of him. It's a nice picture of him. So I don't know what he's holding, but it seems McDonald's, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a clear photo of him. Only thing that I would say about his profile photo is, and your guys' profile photos, try to just make it of yourself. You don't want to do a group photo or more than one person, because then if you were to message me, I'd be like, oh, which one is it? Like, who's messaging me? All right, username 4 out of 5. It's got his first and last names. I just hate like the zeros as O's. I think it's so annoying. So I wouldn't do that. But it's not bad. Highlights doesn't have any, 0 out of 5. Would love to see more. Following to following, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. The ratio itself is really good, but he's got low following. He's got under 1,000. So again, if you're messaging sorority girls, frat guys, they're gonna, first thing, they're popular people. First thing they're gonna look at, oh, how many people are you following? Or how many people follow you? First thing they look at. Feed in general, I'd also give it a 3 out of 5. His pictures are pretty good. He only has 5, just like Graham. Only thing about his pictures is that they're kind of outdated. So they're from a while ago. With this feed too, I think his last post was like less than a year ago or so, but like pretty far out. So in my case, I look at his first photo and be like, hey, like, I'm not sure, like maybe this person got hacked. He's not really active on Instagram. So public, he is public, so I'd give him 5 out of 5 for that. So if Cisco messaged you guys, would you respond or ignore? Respond. I would maybe respond. Here's why. Following's kind of low. The pictures aren't dated. I'd probably be like, is this a scam? Or are you hacked? If I were to see that, just because he's not active and his following is low. It sounds egotistical and cocky, but that's what sorority girls and frat guys look at. All right. Next person. Des. All right, Des, your bio, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. The only comment that I have on your bio, take vector marketing out of it. So with the way it's perceived online, if you don't build a connection with them and the first thing they see is vector marketing, either one, they're going to look it up and see all those shitty rumors, and they're probably not going to respond to you. So you want to, like, curiosity kills the cat. Did someone order Chick-fil-A? You can come in. Come on. Oh my gosh, and the astronaut suit. Okay, so yeah, only thing I would take out is vector marketing. Instead, I would put, you're in Ben's office, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have like a team name?
Yeah, we have an Instagram.
Yeah, tag the Instagram instead. That way they go to that. That way you can eliminate all of the, oh, vector marketing's a scam, all that stuff. And then you can build a connection and actually build credibility with them. Then they feel stupid. So take that out of it. I like to come work with me. You have the link in there. I think that's perfect. So I'd give you a 5 out of 5 for your bio. I would just change the vector marketing thing and put your Instagram. Also for Ben's, I know he doesn't update it, so I would take initiative and update it yourself. Profile photo. I like your profile photo. It's a cute sunset picture. I would see if you can probably like zoom in on it a little bit. But I would see that and be like, yeah, I would respond. For highlights, I like your highlights. Only comment I have on them, change them to words instead of emojis. So like instead of the knife, I'd put work on it and then like a smiley face. The other ones are fine, but you always want to have something like wordy. That way I know what I'm looking at and I'm not like guessing. Follower to following, 5 out of 5. You got 1,500 to 1,400. That's pretty good. Feed in general, I'd also give it a 3 out of 5. Here's why. Your last photo is a little like less recent. I liked your pinned photo. That's good. You only have 8 posts up, so I'd see if you can try to expand that a little bit more. Public, 5 out of 5. I'd give you 5 out of 5. So if Des were to message you on Instagram, would you respond or ignore? I would maybe respond. Here's why, the vector marketing thing.
Yeah.
So if I look that up, you see all the bad things about vector marketing, I'd be like, yeah, maybe I'm not going to respond. So that's the only thing I would really change and why that leads me to my decision.
Let's do some takeaways real quick. What are some common things?
You need more posts.
More posts. What else?
More of yourself on your page, like having like attainable things that like people see you do or people see you being a part of.
Yep.
You
Need highlights.
Clear communication. You are face center, your name as your profile, where you are, where you go to school.
All right, next person. Oh, wait. Charlie. All right, Charlie, your bio, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. You just have Richmond and UVA. It's not terrible. Like to see more. Just something about like, are you in a frat?
Yeah.
I'd put your frat in your bio. Are you in any sports?
Yeah, tennis.
I'd put sports in your bio. It just makes you seem a lot more credible. Profile photo, I'd give it a 3 out of 5 just because it's 2 people in there. So if I were to get this DM, I'd probably be like, which one is messaging me right now? Username, 5 out of 5. It's your first name, last name, really easy to read. You know, I know who you are as a person. Highlights, you don't have any highlights. I'd put some on. Follower to following, I'd give you a 5 out of 5. You got over 1,000 followers and it's over 2,000. So that's pretty good. Anyone that you message that's like a sorority or frat person is going to have over 2,000 following. So that makes you seem a little bit more credible. Great. You got a lot of followings. Sounds really cocky, but it's just how Instagram works. So follower to following is good. Feed in general, I'm giving you a 3 out of 5. The pictures are good. You just need more of them. Yeah, and they're also outdated. So I don't know what I would think about that. Public, you're also not public. I had to request to follow you, so I changed that to be public. So if Charlie were to message you, would you respond or ignore?
Look at his tag photos first.
True.
Yeah.
Oh.
Every time I look at someone's account, I look at.
Yeah, I
their
get it.
photos, like,
Yeah.
They're not tagging
looking
stuff.
for S.
Good. Charlie, you're tagged in a whole bunch of stuff. I stalked all of your guys' Instagrams, by the way. You're tagged in a whole bunch of stuff, and it's all your camp stuff, right?
Yeah, camp, and there's a few.
Yeah, so I'd look at that and be like, okay, he's involved, like he's got like recently tagged photos. So like I know you're an actual person. So I would probably respond to Charlie. Reason why I would probably respond is just because the like outdated photos, that would make me a little iffy if he got hacked or if this is just a spam message, but he's got a good following, he's got a good profile photos, and his tagged photos are really good. If you put your frat and your club tennis stuff in there, I'd 100% respond. All right, next person. He's not here, but Mikhail. Mikhail's probably got the best male Instagram. So going back to your thing, going back to your thing, Graham, it doesn't just have to be a good girl Instagram profile. Guys can do it too. You just need to work on it. All right, Mikhail. Mikhail's got all 5s. It's pretty self-explanatory. Mikhail works on his Instagram because he gets a better response rate. If you look at his past branch doing Peter Snyder's program, he got a pretty good response rate from being a guy.
You got a massive. You have the best in the company.
Yeah, besides me. Sorry, Andy. I had to throw that in.
A little too perfect.
That's kind of what I'm.
No.
Who's
Mikhail.
in case?
No,
Like,
do you
some of
see
these photos-
do you see his photos? Like
Some of these photos,
it wouldn't be like that.
like really, like
Yeah,
I open that, I'm like,
What are you?
you're posting this? Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but like that's what I see.
All right, moving on. All right, so he gets all 5 out of 5s. His bio is good. He's got sales in there. He's got gym. He's got his location and his school in there. He's got a quote in there. It's a little cringy, but I'd still be like, okay, like I know what this guy does. Yeah, believer in better always.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually.
Yeah.
Believer.
His profile photo, I took that photo. It's in Budapest. It's just of him. Pretty good profile photo. It's not like a group. Username, again, perfect, just his first and last name. Highlights, he has one of the best highlights. He's got work, travel, life, grind, and what does that say? Press?
Press.
Like news press? Like paparazzi?
Man,
It's just like.
It's like his content, he be posting, you know, like,
That's the-
Or is it his bench press?
No, it's like,
oh.
Oh, it's like news?
it's like press.
I would take that out, guys. Anything revolving your political standpoints, take it out of your Instagram. So his highlights are good. His following to follower ratio is also good, 1,400 to 1,200. It's pretty good. His feed in general, I'd give him a 5 out of 5. He's got 52 posts up, which is pretty good. He also kind of does what I do, is post at least once a month. He's also public, so I'd give him 5 out of 5. So he's got a school in there, all of that stuff. We also have a lot of mutuals, which I'll talk about later. Mutuals is also a big part. So if Mikhail were to DM you, would you ignore or respond?
Respond.
I would also respond. He's probably the only one that I would 100% no question respond to, just because of his profile. And he's also very active on it. So he posts at least every other day on his Justice story about like a repost, or I think all he does is just repost things, which is good if you don't want to post pictures of yourself. All right, next person, Santi. All right, Santi, your bio is great because I made it.
You made the.
Your profile photo, it's good. It's just 2 people. So I would keep the other profile put on for you. Yeah, but who's gonna know that?
Yeah. Andy doesn't look like a Santiago.
You never know that.
Yeah.
You never know that.
Santiago, he doesn't.
But the thing is, you might think that, other people might not.
Beginning of December.
So fix your profile photo.
Yeah.
Use the other one I took of you.
If I saw that, I'd be like,
You got one post.
Your username. Your username is fine. It's your first name, last name. Highlights, you don't have any. Do some highlights. Follower to following. The ratio is not bad. You just have a really low follower count, so you need to get that up. And public, you're public, so it's fine. All right. So if Santi were to message you, would you respond or ignore?
No.
I would ignore too, guys.
he's.
Yeah, only one post up too.
Nikki, why? Must have missed this. I was in the other room. Why is public better than private? Obviously the message, but like when you're following people, wouldn't it make sense to go private? They don't know you, so they try to follow you to see who the hell you are.
Well, here's what I go off of. So if someone who's private requests or like follows me and I look at their account, my first instinct isn't to follow them back because I want to know more about them. So it's kind of selective. That's like, I know my friends do it too. Or like my girlfriends do it too. Yeah, where if they're private, like you're gonna want to find something about them before you decide to follow them. It's a whole like following psychology type of thing. So yeah, be public. Stephanie has a great profile. Her bio is great. It has her sorority in there. It has where she goes to school. I would just put like hometown location. It's really the only other thing. Profile photo, perfect photo of her. I'd like it a little bit more zoomed in, but it's not like I can't see it at all. Username, also username is perfectly fine. Highlights doesn't have any, so I put her at a 0 out of 5. Follower to following, it's 5 out of 5. She's got over 1,000 followers, so I don't really look at how many people she's following. If it was lower, would be perfect. Feed in general, 5 out of 5. She's got 47 photos up. She's got a mix of herself, her sorority. She's got a mix of like her and her friends, so I'd give her a 5 out of 5. And she's also public, which is good. All right, so Stephanie, respond or ignore? I would respond. All right, next person. Natalie. All right, Natalie, I know you just started your Instagram like a couple months ago, right? So yours isn't like, your scores don't matter that much.
Complete.
Yeah, you don't have a complete, like, I've had Instagram since like 2020 type of person. But some notes for you. Your bio is good. You have your snap in there, you have your nickname, is that a frat or a sorority?
Honor Society.
Oh, okay. Honor Society. Okay, I like that. I like the emojis in there. They're a cute little bunch of emojis. Your profile photo, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. It's a picture of you, and it's close up, which is good. I would try shooting for something like a little bit brighter, and maybe like sometime in like the daytime. That's what I would shoot for. Your username, 5 out of 5. It's your nickname and your last name, so I think that's normal. Highlights, you don't have any.
Yeah.
I would put some in. Follower to following ratio is fine. You just have a low amount of followers, which granted you started your account a couple months ago. Feed in general, I'd give you a 3 out of 5. The photos are fine. You've got one for work, personal, and a picture of, is that your dog? Super cute. Only have 3. I'd like to see 6 at minimum, and I'd do the same thing, try posting like once a month. Guys, that's also how you build followers and build activity. It's kind of like an influencer. If you post TikToks every day, your following is gonna grow. Public, you're public, so that's pretty good. But if Natalie were to message you, respond or ignore.
Maybe respond.
I would ignore just because it's a very recent account. The following's not too high and the pictures, they're not like outdated, but there's not that many. So that's what I would say. Next person, Kristen. All right, Kristen, your bio, I'd give you a 3 out of 5. It's got your school, and is that soccer? So that's good. What's your link thing?
So that was my NLI. So I get like promoted for. So I get like so I get paid like they just like they sponsor us.
Is it like a PR brand? Something like that? Yeah, so that's
They
fine.
sponsor us, yeah.
Okay, I didn't look at it, so I don't know. So that's fine. Again, I would like to see just a little bit more location. I would probably put, because aren't you play?
Arizona, that's why I went to my hometown, and then
I put Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put Virginia Beach in there because that's where you live technically now. You play sports, right?
Yeah.
What do you play? Soccer?
Soccer.
So I'd put soccer in there, somewhere in
So
there.
would you change it, like for mine, I have Nova now, but I'm from Nova. If I say I go to Roanoke.
Put Roanoke in. Or some people, what I would do is I put like Nova and then like a little tiny arrow to like Roanoke. Yeah, something very plain. Or yeah, the
No,
plain.
Steven.
Yeah, a plain. Sorry, I just got that. My bio used to say VB to Nova, and then I just changed it to Nova. Where was I? Username, perfect. It's your first and last name. Highlights, you just don't have any. Follower to following, that's also perfect. A little high on the following side, but that'll gain as you grow. Feed in general, I'd give you a 5 out of 5. Your posts look great. You've got, it looks like aesthetic and everything, and you've got 27 up. So, and you're public too. So respond or ignore, guys.
Respond.
I would also respond to you. So I'll run through his really quick. What? Yeah, because I told him to put one up there. His bio, 3 out of 5. He's got where he's from and George Mason, so it's not bad. Yeah, profile photo, not too good. Username, so I would ignore from him. All right, I think we have the last, yeah, okay. Okay, so the last 2, they're not here, but Adam, I wanted to point out Adam's really quick. I would delete that middle finger photo. 100%. I would delete that in his bio. So I'd ignore him. Sorry. Bio, she has none. Profile photo, again, 1 out of 5. It's a mirror photo and I can't see her face, so I'm not sure. Username, I'd give it a 2 out of 5. I can't really tell what it is. Highlights, I'd give her a 2 out of 5. They just have no like label on it, so I don't know what they're from. Follower to following, it's not bad, just a little low followers. Feed in general, 3 out of 5. It looks very like clean put together. It's just not recent. And she's public, which is good. But it's just not recent. It also looks a little too put together, so I think it might be a little spammy. In conclusion, I would respond to her or ignore her too. All right, moving on because that took a little longer than expected. Okay, so now that we've gone through your Instagrams, now you know what to fix. Now I'm going to show you examples of good feeds. So first off, I've got 3 of the ones that I just pulled out: Michaela, myself, and Kaylin. Michaela has a great time with the responses, and these are just girls. I get to guys in a second. But Michaela, she's got really high following and a lower follower or following, which is super good. She's got 203 posts up. She posts, I think, every 2 weeks or so, sometimes closer together. She's super active. Her bio is great. My opinion, I would just take out the vector marketing thing. She's got her other account in there too. Her highlights are perfect. She's got a whole bunch, and her feed looks amazing. She's got pictures of her and her boyfriend. pictures of her and her friends, pictures at work, all of that stuff. So her feed looks perfect. Michaela gets, I think, the best response rate in the company. She did a talk on this. This is where I got all this stuff.
Take some notes on this stuff.
Yeah, if you're a girl, take notes on this. Your posts need to be high, followers, bio, great example. My thing, I think I got the best response rate in the division, right? Same thing. Again, my followers are 4,500. I'm following 5,800 because of Peter's program, but again, I have a really high follower count. So no one really looks at my following. Now, my bio, honestly, I would probably add more to my bio. It's not perfect. I just have my Snap and some emojis that I like in my Visco. I would probably add my area. I don't have that in there. My highlights. So my highlights, I worked a lot on those. So they each have like a name. So I've got work, Walker, which is my dog, Lovies, which are all my friends, just living, kind of like the aesthetic, like Instagram stuff. But I have pictures on all of them. I prefer pictures over like just like what are they called? Like blank stuff or like things with words on them because they're more intriguing to look at. But my first one is I try to make it always work. So I try to always post something that I can put into my work highlight. That way it's constantly updating. The rest of them I just update whenever. My feed, I've got 77 posts up. Now, granted, with my Instagram specifically, I've had Instagram since I think 2019, but I recently just started actually putting effort into it when I became PSM, which is when I actually started posting a lot more. Because I think before I went PSM, I like 30 posts up or something, which is still pretty high, but I tend to post about, once every month or so. Kaylin, she's also a great example for girls at least. Her following's pretty good. She's got 35 posts up. She's got her bio's perfect, with the link too. She just doesn't have any highlights. That's pretty much the only thing I would change about it. And her feed's constantly updating. She also does once a month, once every 2 months or so. That way it's constantly updating. Now for guys, these are 3 really good guy accounts that I pulled up, and all of them are different in different ways. So let's go to Tobias's first. Tobias has a phenomenal, he has more of like a professional Instagram account. That's one way that you can put it. His follower to following is super good. He's got 20 posts on. His Instagram photo is a professional headshot, so it looks more credible. But if you're trying to get into like a connection standpoint, I do like a regular photo. His bio is perfect. His highlights are perfect, and all of his pictures. The majority of pictures is him at work or him on like the vector trips. And he's also verified, which yeah, you do have to pay for that, but it helps you seem a little bit more
It's
credible.
$14.
Yeah, it's not that
It's also-
expensive.
It's also not really worth it to get verified. It makes you kind of look like you're paying. Everyone knows you're paying for it. Like there's a difference between actually being verified and paying for it.
Here's my take on it. If I had less than 2,000 followers, I wouldn't verify myself. If I was like Michaela and had 6,000 followers, I'd verify myself. Yeah. But his photos are super good. Jaden, he's got a lower follower count and following, but his profile is super good. His bio is perfect. Highlights, only thing I would change is just change it to words. And his profile, his feed in general is super good. He posts pretty often. For a guy at least, I think like once every 2 months, got 18 posts up, and they're either about work, travel, or him and his friends. Matt's also another great example. He's got a higher following. He's in a frat. It's the first thing I look at. He's in a frat. He's got his location on there. His bio isn't too much, but the main thing that attracts is the frat. So if it's small and you got your frat in there, if you're messaging frat guys and frat girls, that's one thing they're gonna look at. He doesn't have any highlights, but he's got 19 posts up. His posts are also really good. He doesn't update too often, and but they are good posts, and they've got like 10 or 12 photos in each one of them. So the reason why I want to show you guys' accounts specifically is because you don't just have to be a girl to get good responses. I mean, take Mikhail. He had one of the best response rates. His profile is good. Take them, you got high following and then low following in there, but they get good responses. And I talked to each one of them too. Their Instagrams didn't look like this before they went out. They were a lot less, kind of like your guys's. Once they started posting, their response rates get better. Does that make sense? So you don't just have to be a guy. With that too, why having a good Instagram is important. I mentioned it a bunch, but the people that you are going to be messaging are the popular sorority people in your territory or fraternity people in your territory. Here's how those people work. Stereotypically, popular people follow more popular people. Sounds cocky, but it's just how social media works. And do you guys all agree? It's literally just how social media works. And if you start messaging a whole bunch of people with not a great Instagram account, you're not going to get good results out of it. And that's when, hey, the messaging program is wasting your money. Now, you guys have a lot of time to fix your Instagram until you go out or until you start messaging. But if you're like, let's say usually guys have the biggest problem with it. If you're a guy and you've got like a girlfriend or like a good like girl best friend or something, use their account to message through. I will say I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, or Andy and Zach, I think girls do get a higher response rate, but that doesn't mean guys can't get about the same.
If you also add a girl into your profile picture as a guy, and it's just you and that girl, maybe a girlfriend, or if you be like a friend that's a girl, it's a little bit of a higher response rate. I messaged just friends I mentioned before. I personally messaged at the time the 28-year-old dude. Okay, but Vera and I were in picture together, so girls and guys had a better time responding to me because it was just like not there. There's also you get rid of the connotation of the guy trying to hit on the girl.
Yeah.
By having a girl in there, so you're gonna open yourself up to more responses.
Yeah. So you have to put yourself in the shoes of you're getting message. What would you respond to? For example, like if Andy's Instagram photo was just a picture of Andy in his profile, I'd be like, why is this dude messaging me? That's weird. So if you're struggling, you have a lot of time, so you can really fix it.
I did message you.
You probably did. And the first thing I looked at was his profile. When I had my interview with Andy, the first thing I looked up is him. I looked on Instagram, LinkedIn, and I looked on, I think, just Google search. And I looked at him, and then I decided to go through my interview. That's what your kids are doing that you recruit. I can guarantee you every single person I recruit has looked me up on Instagram. Every one of my SMRAs especially has looked me up on Instagram. So that's what happens. Even if you're just the trainer and you have someone else messaging, if the email says, hey, trained by Charlie, I'm going to look Charlie up. Or if it's trained by Zach, I'm going to look you up. Like, do you guys do that too? You go into someone, you're going to look up what the person is. So that's why you need to have a good Instagram. So you have a lot of time, but you can also ask to get someone else's Instagram. Only problem with that sometimes is you get a higher no, I don't want you using my Instagram because Peter follows and messages. So now that person's going to be following a whole bunch of people. That's why you want to get like close with someone. Like if I didn't have a good account, I'd ask like Ari to do it for me. Be like, hey, can I use your account? And we're close enough, she'd say yes. And it wouldn't really matter. So that's what I would go off of. Now, kind of switching into some actual SMRA work, for you guys, I would take heavy notes on this stuff. I'm going to share a whole bunch of documents with you guys. But basically, my goal for this section is to show you guys how to build, train, and manage social media recruits. That actually like does something for your office, so you know how to do it correctly. So first off, what I want to talk about is why every office needs social media recruits. I know Andy mentioned it a little bit, but if you're thinking right now, I don't need SMRAs to have a good office, you're incredibly wrong. I promise you. Look at the stats. I promise you. I'm sure, like, if you're thinking that way, you could do really good without SMRAs, but why settle for good when you can be great? SMRA is going to build your business from not just 1 times to 10 times of it. So you can be really good and not have SMRAs. If you had SMRAs, just think about how much better it would be. It's also a consistent recruiting pipeline, meaning you're going to hit your fire number every single week, and you're not going to struggle to hit your fire number and then get a message from Scott and be like, hey, why aren't you hitting your fire number? With constant recruiting, if you have SMRAs launching every week, guaranteed you'll be able to set 30, 40, 50 PRs every single week if you have a solid train of them. I think when we started the summer, I think we had like at least 5 SMRAs every week. And I was setting a lot of PRs. I don't remember the exact number. Yeah, 350 for the summer. And that's also me stopping SMRAs like midway through the summer, which is bad idea. So you always have a consistent recruiting pipeline. It also increases credibility. So if you have a whole bunch of SMRAs, either following like your Instagram work account or following your Instagram or just in general, you have more credibility. It's just like if you have 1 rep on the team compared to 50 reps on the team, which team are you going to join? The 51. And it's also higher quality PRs. So team building is great. I'm not talking about that, but like normal sourcing. I'm an SMRA PR. If Andy had never hired that girl, I wouldn't be here. That's why I'm super big on them as well. But they're also, again, higher quality. If you're messaging people who are in these types of networks, you're automatically going to get the better networks in there.
Kyle was an SMRA PR too.
Yeah, McCall was an SMRA PR. So if you go through their networks, guess whose networks you're going to get back? The better ones and the better ones and the better ones. It's a whole train of getting higher quality PRs. And you're not going to like settle for webs every week. Also, who here has used SMRAs before? Natalie, Nick, Des, you have, we have, Graham, you have. So give me some common challenges that you guys had with SMRAs. Like, give me quick rapid fire.
Converting like personal top 20, top 50 lists.
Okay.
Into
Can I get this on the board?
show.
Can you write that on the board?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just put it in WhatsApp.
Okay, true.
You may put on the board.
No, I'm just gonna throw on the WhatsApp. So can someone do it for me? Converting them to what?
Converting them to like tagging for interviews.
Okay, converting from message to interviews.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go over that. That's good though. Give me another one.
I know Kaden got pissed because he wasn't getting like enough shifts. Then he
I was on vacation, so that was my fault. But like actual like SMRA work.
Converting them to like a rep after. if
Okay,
they are good.
so from SMRA to rep or PR caller. Okay, that's good. Nick, I know you probably have some.
getting them to be hyped about the position.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
biggest thing, because I think the top 20 name too, getting like them to get their names and reach out to them was something I struggled with too.
Be great if you just sit down and be like, all right, Graham, I'm hiring you to get me your friends in interviews. Like, that's what I want you to do.
I know.
And you can't really do that. With that, you gotta kind of fluff up the language a little bit, which we can talk about.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I'll go through each one of those with everything I'm going to teach. But again, first things first, you need to be active on social media. Do you have something? Or are you just flipping your pen? Okay. So you need to be active on social media. Again, if you use Peter's program or if you're messaging people in general, you will get banned. If you message people every single day, if your account's not active. The only reason I haven't gotten banned, I message 50 people a day and I also follow 50 people a day. Now they don't, put me in the category of spam because I'm constantly posting on my stories. I'm updating my Instagram. I'm also just interacting with the people that I follow. So even if I don't know them, I'm liking their pictures. If it's like a story, I'll like their stories. If it's like this sorority girl that I think posted something cute. I'm interacting with my followers. That helps you get the less spammy side. So you're not going to get banned if you're active. Also, who makes the best SMRAs? I'd write these stuff down. So I'm going to put this in the chat too. Who makes the best SMRAs? 1, former reps. Students with strong social media presence, aka sorority frat people. Any creative or communication majors. The majority of like SMRAs that I've worked with are like creative majors. Or like the social major people. They're all in that. You can find like groups on Instagram, by the way. Like search up like JMU Photography Club and you can just go and follow all those people. Sorority girls, frat guys, and a big one that I'm going to cover in a little bit, interviewees before going to rep training. So interviewees before going to rep training.
We did that this summer.
Yeah, we did a lot this summer.
Does it not affect their show rate? Does it affect?
No, it doesn't.
Does
So
anything change?
no. So here's what I mean by that. I'll cover it a little bit more in detail. I also need to charge my computer. I'll cover it a little bit more in detail, but what I mean by that is, hey, let's say they've got into an interview on, let's say like Tuesday. You post them, they can't make this Thursday and Friday's training. They're set up for next week. Now, what you're going to want to do is you change the end of the post call. Hey, actually, I'll send this in the chat too. We have a couple social media positions open right now. Do you want to make like a quick extra $100 like before you go into actual training next week? It's like 2 to 3 days or so. More than likely, they're going to say yes if you're targeting the right people, which is the people with high following, the sorority people. And then you get them into Taylor Beth's training on Friday, and then they're working Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then going to rep training Thursday, Friday. If you make them, I'll get to you guys in 1 second. If you make it super exciting about the position, which goes over in my document that I'll send you guys, they have no issue doing that and then going to training. It also helps the drop-off rate. So if you have someone set for, let's say this week, they're not in training until 2 weeks after, if you don't interact with them at all, they're going to drop off probably 70%. If you do interact with them, that drops to like 20% they're going to drop off. Questions?
Does that look like a little desperate? Because in my eyes, if like I was asked like, oh yeah, we can actually get you on this job before you go get this job. To me, that would look like, oh my gosh, why does this company have so many open positions?
No.
That's I just didn't know.
Yeah, that's a great question, but it's in the document too. It's the way you word it. So it's like, hey, we actually have a couple, because in my post interview guys, I always have them put their Instagram at the end. That way I can look them up. Or I just like go off of like the like interview picture. So when I'm talking to them and they're like, yeah, like I want to start as soon as possible, but I've got like dance this weekend. I can make next weekend's training though. And I was like, oh, sweet. Actually, I noticed in the Instagram that you put in the bio that, you know, you're pretty like, are you proficient with like social media or something? And guys, everyone likes money with whatever territory you're in. So they're gonna want to make an extra $100 for quick and easy work before they actually go into the real job. Does that make sense, Nick? Does that make sense? I don't know if you're listening.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Graham, question?
Forgot what I was.
Okay.
Oh, with the putting them into, when you get them in to be a social media, I know that this summer we had a couple issues like when people were doing that and then they kind of dropped off. How do you get rid of the drop off even when they come from social media? Because I remember in the beginning of the summer it was more an issue and then you handled it, but I don't know.
Okay. So are you talking about like if I get them in a SMRA training before their rep training?
Yeah, so there was one girl that I really remember. Her name was Gabby Korinsky or whatever. She was like the beginning of the summer, like beginning.
Okay.
And she was like gonna be like from Loudoun County, super well off. Like would have been great rep.
Okay.
We got her into SMRA training, and then and then from there it was like, oh, you know, she posted. People were swiping up, being like, hey, like, you know, why are you working with them? And then she dropped off. How do you limit that?
So there's really no way around it besides having them respond. Biggest thing that you want to know about that is, yeah, we might have lost an SMRA, but at that point, she'd probably already done an Instagram post. She'd probably already done a first shift. So now I'm getting her pool of people rather than just her. It's kind of like opportunity cost. I'd rather have a whole bunch of her friends rather than her.
Okay. And then with the SMRA training, you said that Taylor Beth just does all the training?
I'm going to go over that in a second.
But Vicky also had a good relationship with Natalia.
Yeah.
Was one. She came to Vicky. She was like, hey, people are saying this stuff. Yeah, I trust you. I don't believe it's true, but like, how do I handle it?
Yeah.
And that's what you want. If you don't have a relationship with them, you don't have the opportunity to handle the SMRA.
And what did you do with like Natalia when it got to that?
I handle that so well. Well, I had like, it's kind of like doing a demo. Like I had such a relation with her, which I'll go over in my shifts and my training, that she, like what Andy said, she was like, I trust you. So like, what's your take on it? Literally, like guys, when I went through my vector training, I literally thought it was a scam. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Until I actually went through my interview because I'm not an idiot and went to my training and now look where I am. I literally, all I do is I advocate for the fact that, hey, I thought the same thing as you. My voice memo that I usually send is like, hey, like, trust me, when I first started, like, I thought the same thing. I went through my interview, went through my training, and in reality, it's not, I promise you. Like, I've been here for almost 3 years now, and I started the same way as you, and I also thought it was kind of sketchy. So you just have to connect with them. Where to find them? I'm putting this in the chat. So Instagram, Peter's program. Peter follows and messages them in all. So he'll follow in the message. My personal take on them, if you are going out, once you get your territory, I'd start sourcing on your own and following them and sourcing on your own.
would you recommend, so I've been talking to people at Radford, kind of, because obviously we don't know where we're going yet, but I have like a strong set of like 3 people I know will want to be SMRAs in Roanoke, 2 people in Charlottesville that want to be. So like, is that like, should I start doing that now?
You can. There's no harm in it, but you probably get a lot more drop off from it because they'll probably forget that you
I
did
mean,
talk
it's
to them.
mainly like I have like a couple brothers, a couple sweethearts. I've got people that we're just like
Yeah.
friends with, and
Yeah.
they're all down to do it.
Yeah, so seed planting. Start it now and then actually reach out to them when it's time. So Peter's program, again, if you are going out, when you get your territory, start following immediately. My take on it is I like to be active with them before I message. So like I'll interact with their post or their stories. That way when I message them, they already know who I am. They already know my name because they've seen it in their notifications. Does that make sense? Yeah.
So sometimes when I see like, I'm on my account's public, and if I see somebody that will randomly like go and like one of my posts that was from like 2 months ago, I'm kind of like, are you stalking my account?
Mhm.
Like I kind of get like kind of iffy on that. And then if I see that they've been like clearly looking at me, and then sometimes I see a message, I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Like how do you
Yeah.
stop liking people's posts from a little while
Through
back?
feed. So like your recent feed and everything. That's why you need to be active on social media. So like if you haven't posted, I kind of be like, whatever. But the people who do have a lot of followers post quite a lot. At least once a week or so from a story, at least. With like, let's say I'm messaging you for SMRAs. If you had posted like yesterday and it was on my feed today, I just do a simple like from it. And then I just keep going. I like every single, like if I go through, let me show you guys. Well, this is my dog rescue place. Let me find a good one. Ava Bomb, one of my SMRAs from last year, I'm pretty sure. If I were messaging her, I literally like it, keep scrolling. I don't like all the random ones, but any ones that I see, like her, one of my SMRAs that I message, like it, keep scrolling. Like it, keep scrolling. Like it, keep scrolling. Yeah, if you have a significant other, prep your significant other. Hey, I'm gonna be liking a whole bunch of girls' photos. It doesn't mean anything. All right, so does that answer your question?
Yeah, so don't like as it comes up on your feed, you can still like it, you know, if it kind of like, you know, when you follow somebody, you're like, you see a lot of their posts that come up on your feed.
Yeah.
So you can still like them, even if they are kind of.
I'd like one of them.
Okay,
And then just wait. This is why you need to start sourcing and following early, because when you source and follow early, now you can get more interaction with them until you actually start messaging.
Okay.
That makes sense? Yeah, super important. Question?
Yes, kind of off topic from that, but as far as SMRAs goes, what's your ratio for like male SMRAs and female?
It's
SMRAs?
It's definitely more female, but it's not to say I haven't had a male SMRA. They're equally as good. Like there's no discrimination here, guys.
121,000 in new business in April. I have the record. The old record was like 60, I think. Set in 08, and we broke it in 2023, and I had 3 male SMRAs that I'll beat up.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not bad.
The Cox.
Most of the time, you have a more likely response of them saying no to you offering the position, just because stereotypically guys don't post as often between girls. But when you do get a guy SMRA, they work the exact same way. And then you can get into all the frat people, all the sport guys, all of that stuff.
And do you try to make everybody an SMRA before becoming a rep? Or is it kind of?
Not everyone. I'm gonna go over this in a second, or I'll just go over it now. But yeah, SMRAs, you want to make sure they have at least over 1,000 followers.
Say, do they go to the school that you're trying to get into? Ideally,
That's true.
1,000, but how many followers do you have?
Give me one sec.
2,000. All right. Well, yeah, all right. Like if I had a kid from St. Chris that had 600 followers, I would try to, if I didn't have someone from St. Chris and I wanted to,
Yeah.
I'd be offering it to them.
No, yeah, I agree. With that, if they're like from a normal school, over 1,000, usually my quota. But like, if like I were trying to recruit Graham as an SMRA first, she's got like 800 followers, I'd do that. Because he goes to Oakton, one of our best schools. Does that answer your question?
It's like
And then
20 followers.
Des,
Yeah.
you can answer your question or ask your question.
Really?
For boys.
Oh, yeah, but we played football, and yeah, we played football together. freshman and sophomore, my freshman and sophomore year.
They're from a.
Wow,
like,
that's
super
crazy,
good
bro.
school,
Yeah, it's
like say
fun.
like a private person.
Small.
Yeah.
600,
Actually,
but if it's from
That's
like,
fine.
I met, I was at,
rerun like now.
So.
Or
Yeah.
like if they were from Kellum and they had like 800, it'd be like.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the same thing. If they're from a good school, how it's gonna work, if they have over 500 followers, I'd probably be able to SMRA them. If they have under, more than likely they're gonna say no. Just because they have low following and they're probably not active on social media.
Sure.
All right, so Instagram rep pipelines. This is like top 25. This is like team building for SMRAs. So you guys know what team building is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So you team build for SMRAs. It's I think I did this with you. I think I did it with the entire staff. It was like, hey, give me a list of top 25 of all SMRAs. Because again, you get one SMRA, you get their entire network. I'd rather have that than that SMRA. Stick with me.
and when you're doing like the team builder, like AT1,
All right, these are pissing me off.
when you're doing the team builder for AT1, I know that we do it strictly, not strictly, but it's mainly trying to get reps. Would you be like, hey, do a top 20 list and then hey, let's do like 5 SMRAs?
Yes.
Yeah.
And is that like,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna go over that during training. Make them do top 25 rep, top 25 SMRA.
Let me ask you another question too.
Yeah.
I've heard managers in the region say, well, why do SMRAs? Why don't I just launch reps and just team build them?
You get way less out of that. So think of it this way. Great question for you guys to take notes on too. You can rep them and you can team build them just fine. But in reality, here's probably what's going to happen. When you're an AT1 doing team builder, I usually set maybe 5 to 6 in that hour that we're team building. Imagine having 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours with an SMRA, and all we're doing is finding their friends. So it's kind of, again, opportunity cost of me signing or me interviewing 15 of their friends rather than just 5. And it's also, in my opinion, a little bit harder during team builder. Like, let's say, like, you guys are my team building squad. Let's say, Kristen, you don't want to team build. Then it kind of knocks everyone else a little bit down. So if I'm just doing it one-on-one with my SMRA, now it's like, hey, this is your job. It's not a rep's job to recruit. We kind of make it a requirement, but it's not their job. Like I'm not 100%, hey, you're fired if you don't help me team build. Most of the sharp reps want to do it, but it's an SMRA's sole purpose and sole job to find me more recruits. Does that answer the question?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So rep pipelines, past reps. If you are going out and you get your territory, get a list of all the past reps. If you know the manager that was in that territory and they had SMRAs, get all of their SMRAs. You can re-message them. That's what I did with some of the reps from when Brian was the DVM, and I think I got like 1 rep back, but 1's better than 0. So you can message them for past SMRAs. Hey, I just took over the territory, saw you were working with Jewels, was wondering if you would be open to, coming back again for some new positions we have open. More than likely, if it wasn't like a great manager and they had SMRAs, they probably didn't like their manager. So, hey, I just took over the territory. I did that with Brian's reps. It's like, hey, I just took over the territory. I'm the new manager. So past reps, Snapchat. Use Snapchat the same as Instagram. Mikhail's program is great. Andy, if you can find that and drop it in the TLA chat, the NK program with that's not as much SMRAs. He usually messes for reps, but you can still do it with SMRAs. And then again, interviews before they go into rep training. One of the best ones. All right, so let me put a document in the chat. I want you guys all to pull this up. And this is the actual this is my Peters program. You guys should be on view only, but if you're gonna use it, just make a copy of it and you can change it on your own. So Peters program with instant messaging. This is exactly what I do for social media on Instagram. So is everyone in it? Okay. So number 1, Peter sends the original message. It's super simple. This is the exact one that I use. Hey, I work with a local office in Fairfax. We're hiring for part-time social media, blah, blah, blah. Would you be available for me to tell you more? Or do you know anyone who's interested? It's a super simple message. I think this summer, something that I would take note of is I'm going to make it more personal and like how I would actually text. That way when I text them back, it's not different. That still works perfect. 2, if they say yes, I'm interested, you send them a voice memo. You're sending, hey, let me send you a quick voice memo. It's a little easier than typing out the whole thing. This is super, super important because now when you're sending them a voice memo, now they have no reason to believe that you're not a bot because they're hearing your voice with it. If you're messaging, let's say you're a guy, Charlie, and you're messaging from a girl's account, you want that girl to say this voice memo part, record it, and you just play it. And then, so it's like an actual voice memo. That takes a little trial and error, so just perfect it before you actually do it. But you need to send a voice memo. Don't send this over text. No one's gonna read it. So you send them a voice memo. It's just Brandon hiring outreach. This is my verbiage on it. I made it super chill, super low key. They do some direct messaging, post on their story to spread the word that we're hiring. It's super. This is, guys, listen to this because this is exactly how I say it. It's super easy, $15 an hour plus bonuses. We do also have very flexible schedules that can be remote or in person. I kind of like to explain it as like being like a brand ambassador, like when you get paid to endorse or advertise like a certain thing. Let me know if that makes sense. That's exactly how I say it. And then right afterwards, you don't want to wait. You send, hey, I'd love to get your number and talk over the phone, set you up for a quick informational interview so you can learn a little bit more in depth and detail to see if it'd be a good fit. I say that right afterwards. Now, if they say yes to all of it and you get their number, this whole section where it says once you get their number, this is what you're sending over text messaging. Does anyone have an Android in here, by the way? No. Okay, good. Text through iMessages. If it's an Android, no one's gonna respond to it. All right, so the first message, this is basically just getting them set up for an interview. And this comes about converting them from messages, Natalie, or like Instagram to messages, like to get them to an interview. It's the main thing about it is just sending that voice memo, and like handling their concerns.
The voice memo work better than just sending it in a text?
Yes, 100%.
Just to hear the voice. And is there a way to do the voice memo where you can do it once, or do you have to send it?
Yeah, you can just create a recording. I always like to just do it manually because
it's pretty quick too. So
yeah, because sometimes if they have a question, I'll add their question into my voice memo. Or like this is a good tactic that I like to use. Like I'll look at their feed and then I'll be like, oh, like by the way, I love your feed. Like let me know where'd you go to this place at. That way it's more like connection of them. Question?
Yeah, I do wanna, just to clarify, I'm curious on how to convert numbers that you get from the SMRA to rep interviews.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll go over that.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So you wait for the response. Sweet. Then you set them up for an interview, just like kind of like how you text for PRs. And then they send you their email, all their information. And I always do a Zoom meeting, which I'll go over for interviews too. And then you just confirm them. So you send them the confirmation text. And then scrolling down where it says email for interview, this is the confirmation email. You don't want to forget this. It makes it sound a little bit more professional. Also, it makes them remember it. I usually send it like the morning of the interview. Like I'll send them a couple texts, be like, hey, just sent you that email. Go ahead and check it out. Make sure you see it before we hop on. I'll send them the email through my own personal email. Also, guys, if you have like a weird email, like my email is VickyMcCauley12@gmail.com. It looks legit. All right, so I think everyone also, how do we get the vector marketing email?
I think you have to be a manager, but you just do it through Vector Connect.
Okay, because I want that.
Yeah, you just go to Vector Connect, it's on one of the tabs, and then you just like sign up for the email.
Okay.
And they give it to you.
Yeah, I
think
do
you
want
have to wait a
that.
little bit.
Yeah, I use my personal email, same thing as the Instagram stuff with vector marketing. My personal email, there's nothing associated until I actually tell them about it. That way it builds more credibility. If they say no to the initial message, so let's say you message them for SMRA and they say no, like, hey, I have another job or I'm not interested. You want to immediately respond with this. This is going to get you guys paid a post. Amir does this, works perfect for him. He had a phenomenal summer. So hey, no problem. Thanks for reaching out. I actually have a little small marketing budget. Was wondering if you'd be down to post like a quick Insta story to help spread the word. I'll pay you $10. Let me know if I can send you some examples. You're going to get about 50-50 responses, yeah or no. Most people want the money, but some people just don't. And then the rest of it is just tailored to your own office. Like I have our Instagram link and then I tell them what to do for our office. And that's the instant messaging. So that's what you guys want to use for Peter's program. Now, if you do sign up for Peter's program, he's going to ask you what message do you want to use. You have to make it your own. Use this one. This is the one I think I got from Amir, and it's worked perfect for me. I think just I'm going to tweak it to be a little bit more like me. All right, so any questions on the actual like text? Good. Okay. All right, so you also never want to overdo the message. So the way my voice memo and my actual initial message is worded, so it's very short. Curiosity kills the cat. You want to make it super short and simple, kind of like when you're PR calling. You don't want to give them all the details or they're not going to show up. So curiosity over overselling. So just don't overdo the message and then actually schedule the interview with them. You want to do this pretty immediately. It's kind of like just doing a post interview. They do the interview, post them immediately. Same thing with this. You get their number, set them up for an interview immediately. Don't wait, guys, because you get a lot more drop off if you wait like even an hour to text them. Which is why you also want to do like the notifications thing on Instagram so you can see every time you get a DM. All right. The key of those actually messaging is to create interest and curiosity, not a full job description. Because one, no one's gonna read it, and then they're gonna be like, oh, I'm confused. All that stuff. All right. Section 2 is the interview process. So I'm putting another document in the chat. This is the SMRA interview. All right, so everyone open that document, SMRA interview 2025. This is my SMRA interview. Make a copy, you can use it. All right, so for the interview, it's a 6-step structure. It's like the 7 steps to a sale. You're building rapport with them. You want to make a connection so they trust you, just like in a demo. They need to trust you if you're going to keep them around. Number 2 is explaining the purpose, and these are the 6 steps of an SMRA interview, by the way. Explaining the purpose of the role of an SMRA and a rep. So you explain the rep position first, and then you go into the actual social media role. Number 3 step is to name drop and connect. Super, super important. The reason why I connect with all my kids is because I name drop and I actually make myself relatable. So for example, like if I had, I think, which one of your SMRAs, Graham, during the summertime? Camille, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Camille, super sharp girl, goes to JMU and like the top sorority. Camille, on her interview, I was name dropping Graham like crazy because they're friends. So I was like, yeah, Graham did this, Graham did that, Graham did X, Y, and Z. You want to do the same thing. Now, if you don't know anyone, this is where you figure out, hey, what happened in the past territory? Or let's say, let's say you know someone who went to Cox High School, name drop me. That way they can do it. It's just a simple, hey, do you happen to know like Graham Smith? And like I literally did it yesterday. Some person I was calling from tech, they went to Oakton and I was like, oh yeah, do you know a Graham Smith, by the way? And they're like, kind of rings the bell. And I was like, oh yeah, he's just one of our assistant managers here. He's one of our top reps this summer. And they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah. I don't remember. I set so many PRs yesterday. Let's say, for example, let's say I have an SMRA from UVA. I know like Elo Chave was one of my good friends a few years ago. I always name drop her and her brother Jake. Jake sold what, like
$250,000.
Yeah, $250,000. He did like what, a $90,000 order? 91. Yeah, 91.
Times one ice cream scoop.
Yeah. So like if I have someone from UVA that went to my school, Charlie, I would be like, hey, like, yeah, even if you like ask me, I'll give you all the people and you know people from UVA. But I'd be like, yeah, like my friend, like, Elo Chavi, yeah, her brother worked for Cutco Jake. He did super, super well, X, Y, and Z. Or if I'm doing someone in like now, I'd be like, yeah, oh, by the way, do you know Charlie? And they'd be like, oh, maybe, just to name drop and connect.
Even if they don't know, you just like.
Yeah, if you know they don't know him, like if it's a weird kid that I know that doesn't like know Graham, like it's the name of it. It's like, hey, I'm listing off people who go to your school that work with me. It's credibility with it. 4th step is you're reviewing the responsibilities. So you need to make it clear, very, very clear. And that's what the interview does, that they're going to be using their own personal social media accounts. The voice memo says it too as well, but you want to make it chill and low key. Usually what I say, hey, it's essentially just like when I DM'd you over Instagram, it's basically the same thing with Instagram, like text messaging. So it's super chill, super low key, and I'm making it seem like not this whole like big blown out thing. Fifth step is discussing pay, hours, and flexibility. This is where you make it clear it's a rotational position. They're not staying for social media for 2, 3 months. Here's how you word that. It's super simple. You're just like, hey, like, Natalie, I'm sure like anything with Instagram, like it's gonna burn out and it's just gonna dry over the weeks. Like that's pretty natural. So our company actually has rotational positions that we can go ahead and filter you into. Similar to like a position like we call it receptionist or like reps, but we'll talk about all that later. So your seed planting, hey, it's a rotational position. You're not staying with social media forever. And then the last step is just close with the next steps, figure out why they'd be a good candidate, and you set them up for training. Not every SMRA that you interview, by the way, you're gonna hire. Majority, like 95% of them you will, but I've hired SMRAs that I like didn't hire because either they didn't want it or I was like, yeah, I don't want to work with you.
They're like a certain,
Like that Chris kid you got me.
yeah.
I wouldn't have hired them, but I wanted his PR, so I hired him. Yeah, I got a couple from his beta post, but I didn't schedule his first shift. I fired him before that.
What's the characteristics that you would be like, oh yeah, I just don't want to, like, are they rude? Are they just like not
Low friendly.
Usually, yeah, sometimes it's low folly, and two, if it's like if you can like it's body language, you can tell when you say, hey, you're gonna be using your own personal social media accounts, probably posting on your story like once or twice a week and expanding through your network. You can tell when they're like, yeah, I don't really want to do that. So then you're just wasting your time because they're gonna drop off. Sometimes it doesn't happen, or if they're like not, I'd say like rude, like the normal people you don't want to work with, or anything like. It's very few of them, but you'll be able to tell. It's like a natural instinct. For SMRAs, I think my oldest SMRA was like 20. I don't think there's. Correct me if I'm wrong. I wouldn't say there's an age limit. I'd say cap it out at like.
I wouldn't. I would
30.
Yeah.
in college, I'd be fine with you, but if you're like 28. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd go up until like 22. And guys, the people who are 28, they're not gonna want the position. I'd go up until like 22 or so. And then
Young, like a high school senior or like a freshman in college.
here's what I would say. Don't hire anyone younger than 17. SMRA position, it's a little bit different because maybe you can't hire 17-year-olds, by the way, you'll get fired. With that too, 17-year-old SMRAs are fine, but guys, you want to listen, this is really important. 17-year-old SMRAs are fine because they more than likely know 18-year-olds. So you just have to make it very clear, hey, you're finding people who are 18 or over. All right, so traits to look for, by the way, when you're doing an interview to hire someone, reliability, like is this person like responding to you fast? Creativity, is their Instagram good? And just communication, are they responding to you pretty efficiently? And make sure they're cool people. Cool people attract more cool people. You also want to set the tone, make it professional but fun. They're joining a team, not a temp job. People are more likely to stick around because of the people. So make it seem enjoyable. And if you're not enjoying it right now, make yourself enjoy it. People reflect off your body language, they mirror you. Common mistakes of an SMRA interview is that they oversell it. They like overhype it. They're like, hey, when you overhype it, it sounds like I need you. No, I don't need you. You need me. So you don't want to overhype it. Unclear pay and waiting too long to onboard. So let's go through the actual interview super quick. So the first section, building rapport, you're getting to know them. I spend, just like a demo, I spend like 5 to 10 minutes asking them questions about themselves, especially if they went to a school that I want to recruit into. Then I'm asking like, hey, do you know this person? Oh, tell me what you did there. Oh, you're on photography club. Tell me what you did there. You're creating that connection with them. If they said, oh yeah, like I went to Cox High School. Oh my gosh, me too. Like when'd you graduate? All of that stuff. So I'm creating the connection with them. And then you want to go ahead and share a little bit more about you. These are just your basic stats. Hey, I've been with the company for this amount of time. Hey, also, Andy, correct me if I'm wrong. I've been here for 2 years. right? 2.5.
They're 17, so.
Yeah, so 2.5 years, I'm pretty sure. I always round up, I say 3 years. Now you guys haven't been here for 3 years. I'd round up. If you're like, yeah, I've been with the company for a month, what do you think they're gonna say to you? So round up. Telling a little bit about yourself, you're literally just introducing yourself for like 1 minute. Yeah, I went to this school, I started with the company here are my results. So you're getting to know them. These are just some thought joggers. Introduction. Great, here's what we're going to be covering next. You're giving them a set point. Hey, we're going over this, 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 and this. All right, going over the company section. This is where you're telling them, hey, this is Cutco, this is vector marketing, this is what we do. You're building the credibility in the company just like a demo. And then they go over the sales program. So you're subtly hyping up the rep job. And if you guys go where it says sales program, it has examples in there. Caroline Pullen, a student at Virginia Tech, earned $15,000 last summer working with us. Jago Chave, a student at UVA, earned a scholarship and over $10,000 selling around school. I'll add in my own. If they're from Nova, yeah, Graham Smith, one of our reps from Oakton High School, he goes to Radford. He made, I don't know, I think I say like 10,000. 20, 30, 100K. Yeah, I did it like Graham won an American All-American scholarship. When I was calling my Virginia Tech people yesterday, I was like, or no, my Radford people yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, like Graham Smith, he actually went to Radford, he just won a scholarship with us. And they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Especially guys, if you went to the school, like let's say someone goes to George Mason and I went to George Mason, I'm name dropping the crap out of George Mason. Be like, oh yeah, I went there. It creates credibility. And then you're going into the actual social media recruiting position. You're telling them all about the job itself. And then going down from it is just the pay and training, the summary, and getting you set up for training, just like a normal post interview. The actual interview, I would jot this down, should take 20 to 30 minutes. Especially when you're just going for it. Mine usually take 15 to 20 minutes or so. It's super quick. With interviews too, this is what you're going to want to decide for yourself with how you're going to run interviews. The way that I did it this past summer, I ran individual interviews with every single SMRA that I was hiring. So there was like one day I had like 10 SMRA interviews back to back to back to back, 15 minutes spent with each person. Reason I do it that way, because I can talk to them more and it's not like an Apex interview where I'm just talking to the group. I think in my opinion, it creates like a better connection if you have the time for it. When you start SMRAs, you should have the time for it. There has been some times where I do group interviews when I just have too many, but it's like 1 to 2, maybe 3 people at max. I'd recommend doing them just one-on-one. You get a lot more connection from it. So does the interview itself make sense? It's pretty self-explanatory. You just read the script. All right. Can I get to a 4:30? Is that going to be fine? Okay, it shouldn't take that much longer. Okay, section 3, from the interview to training. So getting them from the interview to training. So your goal is to keep their excitement really high and get them ready and like excited to actually show up for training. If they're not ready, if they're not excited, they're not going to show up. If you don't present it very well, they're not going to show up. So the drop-off zone, this is where interest fades before training. So biggest things with this is I send them like a little welcome to the team text. I can put mine in the chat if you want, but it's just welcome to the team. By the way, does anyone have a Type-C charger? Perchance, my computer's. Can you grab it for me? My computer's at 1%. So I always send them like a little welcome text, like, hey, congratulations to the team. We're happy to have you on. Our staff's gonna love you. And all of this stuff. So send them a little welcome text. That's the easiest way to do it. And you want to confirm training early. There's also a confirmation email you can send. Taylor Beth has it. You also want to make sure, biggest thing I would definitely make sure you take notes on this is make sure training is close to when you interviewed them. You want to learn how to train SMRAs, and I'll teach you guys that too, which is the next topic. But you want to make sure training is close. So the longer you wait, the more time they have to drop off. For example, if you interview them on like a Friday, like before training, and they can't make it to Taylor Beth's training at 3 p.m., you want to interview them Saturday or Sunday, or train them Saturday or Sunday to make it efficient for PRs. And also you gain a lot more retention doing that. You get a less drop off right here. So you want to make sure training's close. So anything over 3 days from the interview to the training, I would train them personally. Taylor Beth does a great job. You personally could do better. She's amazing, but she trains like 50 people at a time. You'll be training like 1 or 2 people. You get more results from it. So anything over 3 days, I would just train them personally. This past summer, what I did is I'd usually interview them on like a Saturday or Sunday. I spent my Saturday, Sundays interviewing them, and then I would train them the next day and launch them personally. My launch percentage skyrocketed, by the way, because I'm not waiting 4 to 5 days to get them in Taylor Best training. I'm waiting 12 hours to get them in training. It's just like setting same day interviews. You get a better response rate from it. Speaking of that, making sure training is closed is actually learning how to do an SMRA training. The biggest thing that I learned how to do SMRA training is by watching Taylor Beth's training. She does a 3-hour training. My trainings take like an hour and a half. Granted, I've done it for a while, so you guys might take like 2 hours or so. But you want to build confidence and clarity and competence from day one. So I'm going to put in the TLA chat my SMRA training script and my training slides. How do I get out of this? Done. Okay. So the first one is my script. The second one is my slides. My slides are literally just Taylor Beth's changed to my name. My training script is Taylor Beth's training, but a little bit extra that I put in. So going through each of those, pull up the training script. So the training outline is basically just mindset, role clarity, and content. That's literally what it is. So the first part of training is you're building rapport, you know, all of that stuff, and you're having the personal introduction story. So now you're introducing yourself as a whole. So literally my introduction is me saying, hey, like I actually saw my friend Kenzie's Instagram story. And I give them my story of hated my hostessing job, came across this one. Great. I saw the same way as you did. Literally the last sentence says, hey, the reason I share all that is because without Kenzie being a SMRA, I wouldn't even have known about the vector opportunity. That gives them connection from it. Training and overview is the next part. So this goes hand in hand with the slides. You're just explaining the, what you're gonna go, oh my gosh, English, what you're going to go over in training. So it introduces the company. Jeff has a video in training. It's like a 20-minute video that takes a good chunk of your training up, which is the next part. Jeff Gambo is welcome to training. Then you're going to debrief with them, quick 1 or 2 takeaways, figured out what they learned and if they were paying attention. Download apps. That's just making sure they have Google Sheets and Google Docs. And then they're making their first Instagram story post. So this is the first, be like, hey, we're actually going to go through like some Instagram things. By the way, guys, I'm a bullet point person. I'm a script it all out person. So I would watch Taylor Best training because I just speak and speak. All right, so they make their first Instagram post. You're explaining why they make an Instagram post and why we recruit through Instagram. It's super simple. Instagram is this generation's like Facebook. This is why we recruit through Instagram. The next part, the next 20 minutes is doing a Snapchat blast, just like MK's program. The next 30 minutes is creating their top 20 list. The biggest thing that I like with running my own training is that I'm managing them exactly. So I'm not getting them to 20, I'm getting them to 60 people on their list. Let me share these. This is everything SMRA from Taylor Beth. This is where you find the Virginia division ones. So that has all the message templates. You guys can look that on your own, but it has the top 20 list that Taylor Beth puts out. But instead of saying, so Taylor Beth, the way she does it is they just now changed it, but they used to be like, hey, 20 is minimum. So people would think like, hey, 20 is all I have to get. When I run training, hey, 40 is the minimum, by the way. And if you run, I give them 30 minutes to make their top 20 list, sometimes 45. By the time they're at like 10 minutes in, they're already at 30 people on their list. And I just keep managing them. Oh, let's get to 60. I also have bonus recruiting in there. So if they get me to 60 people on their list, by the time we finish, I give them a $20 bonus on it. And if they don't, I have them go ahead and do it before their first shift. I make it an assignment. If they have like 40 people, great, your assignments get to 60 people by our first shift. I usually incentivize. It's really quick and easy. People like money. Or you can do like $5 like Chick-fil-A gift cards, something like that. The next half of it is teaching them how to reply to messages. So most people, when they start a social media role, if they don't know how to reply, they're going to be like, yo, like, I don't really know. Like, I just started all this stuff. So you're teaching them replying to messages. And I think that's all in Taylor Beth stuff. And then the closing comments. Closing comments are the most important. You want to close them off. Go over the results, by the way. Be like, hey, Nick, you got 57 people on your list. Great job on that. That's better than the average here. Now, here's going to be your assignment to come from our next shift. Now, I know the goal to get you that bonus was to have 60 people on your list. Since you didn't hit it today, here's what we're going to do, Nick. If you get me to 70 people on your list, I'll still go ahead and give me that bonus. Does that sound good? Sweet. So your assignment is to get to 60 minimum, 70 if you want the bonus. So you're always upping it to get more. And then closing is just letting them go and everything. It should take about an hour and a half. I do one-on-one trainings. Sometimes I'll do multiple people's trainings. That's probably the best thing to do is I'll train like 3 or 4 people at once. I'll interview them one-on-one. So does training make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, biggest thing, because this is where I learned off it, and I can speak off the top of my head, but if you're not that type of person, watch Taylor Beth's training and take notes on what she says and just script it out yourself. All right, and then you can use the document in there too. All right, next off, shifts and scheduling. This is probably the most important part. So at the end, here's how I do it. At the end of my training, I'm setting up their first shift at the very end. I should probably put that in the thing, but at the very end, I'm setting up their first shift. So usually, if I train the day after, I'll have their shift like the next day. Here's how you want to do shifts: 2 to 4 a week. My personal favorite is 3 shifts a week at 2 hours. So 3 shifts a week at 2 hours. That's the typical schedule. Now for PR efficiency, your shifts always want to be on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That way you can get them into Thursday, Friday training. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, back to back, 3 shifts per week, 2 hours per shift.
And with the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, do we do any others? Like
You can.
just
You can do like
effective-
Saturday, Sunday,
just
Monday.
as effective.
Yeah, because the way the PR cycle works, if you do a shift on Friday, then they're waiting until next week to do training. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 shifts, 2 hours per week. That's 9 hours. Or no, 2, 4, 6, 6 hours.
So-
Wait, right? 6
Yeah, so
hours?
6 hours, and then if you have 5 SMRAs a week.
Yeah. Some managers like to do 3-hour shifts to get the most efficiently from it. I just don't have time for that. So I do 2 hours. And again, what I recommend when you first start is do the shifts one-on-one. Especially when you're recruiting heavy, just have them back to back to back, one person, until you get a staff going and help. The reason why I could train 4 to 5 people is because I had Tristan, Graham, and Paige helping me on the shifts. So they were working one-on-one with each of my SMRAs. If you do it, stop that. If you do like 3 people on a shift and it's just you, you're going to get less results out of it and you're going to get overwhelmed very, very fast because it happens to me. You also want to, for any shifts, you want to set clear like instructions. Here's what we're doing. You're going to get 50 DMs out today. You're going to get 3 posts up, and we're going to go ahead and message the first half of your list here. And you track performance through the spreadsheet that Taylor Beth gives out. Let me go ahead and put my shift script, and this one's a little bit more scripted out, but my shift script and my shift slides. Someone named Caleb Jimmo changed, oh, my computer died. Changed my SMRA shift picture, so it looks a little chopped right now. But I fixed it.
You post them.
No, I can post it on my computer. My computer died. All right, so let me post in here. So pull up I sent you guys a script, right? All right, so pull up the script. pulling up the SMRA shifts, these go just hand in hand with the slides. I'll go over the slides in a second. So before the first shift here, I'll share all this with you guys. Okay, so first off, before your shift, you always want to send them a little reminder text. Hey, I'll see you at 2. Same thing with the demo. Don't be like, are we still on for 2? Hey, I'll see you at 2. Clear, direct. After training, by the way, you also want to send them another text being like, hey, like, great job on your training today. I'll see you at this time. Because I know Apple automatically puts it as like a maybe reminder in their phone. You also want to text and ask how training was, what they learn. If you're going through Taylor Beth's training, so if they're set for Taylor Beth's, go ahead and text them that afterwards. And then again, give them an assignment to come through their first shift with 60 plus names and numbers on their list. Incentivize them with cash or gift cards if you want to. All right, for the actual SMRA shift, the first stuff is just also building rapport, catching them up with SMRA stuff, creating a connection, just like your interview and training. Do you have a question or just, okay. Sharing the plan for today. You're going to share the plan with them. Making an impact. This is where you're telling them, hey, this is why you're such an important part of the business. People like to do more things when they feel really good. I like to set more PRs when I get a little bonus from it. So making an impact. So make sure they know that they're an important part of the business because they're starting up your business. So hype them up a ton, review their results, aka how many people applied through their link, that they posted up. Then you're going over expectations. This is important. You guys can change this to what your expectations are. These are just mine, which is just like communicate with me. Here's your like scheduling conflict time, all of that stuff. And then the last thing, which is super big with expectations, make it crystal clear that it's a rotational position. This is where you're talking about it again. It's the second seed plan within. Next off, you're going off standards. So this is based off how many numbers they bring in. So if they have 60, great, we're messaging half of that today. So if they bring in like 20, you're messaging them all of them today. So you're making it clear, hey, this is what we're doing, be prepared. For Orient, it's just giving them all the like logs that they need. So I have like a shift log in there. That's the SMRA dashboard. Also make a copy of that too. But this is the dashboard where it has the shifts, any resources that they need, all of that stuff. You're adding them into group chats. My recommendation, if you have an SMRA and you have more than one, make a group chat. Call it SMRA and then put like a knife next to it or so. This creates community with it. Be like, hey, I'm not the only SMRA. Setting up pay and expectations. So we do $15 an hour. Is everyone doing that for the summer?
Yeah.
It's smart. We do $15 an hour. They get paid every Sunday. I send their Venmo to Andy and Andy pays them. For you guys, I would probably have it in your calendar, Sunday, 8 a.m., pay my SMRA, so you don't forget. If you forget, they're going to start getting pissed at you. Yeah. Shift resources. You're explaining, hey, it's like clocking out of a restaurant. If you don't fill out your shift log, I'm not going to be able to pay you the correct amount. That way, all you have to do is look at the shift log. Great, I'm paying you for this amount of hours. Set up their business Venmo. That's I think caller and SMRA pay. It gives you explanation on how to set up a business Venmo. It's super simple.
Sends them a 10.
Yeah. So use business Venmo. It's the best thing. One thing about hiring 17-year-old SMRAs, they can't sign up for Venmo. Yet alone a business Venmo because they're not 18 years old. So it's why I would try to hire 18-year-old SMRAs. How to talk about the job. You're explaining to them, keep it stupid simple. You're just a social media recruiting assistant. Let me do the rest of it. Then you're going through the impact, the actual work. So you already seed planted, hey, this is what we're going to be doing today. Now we're going to go ahead and actually do it. So the first time or the first thing for your first shift, you're having them put up another post, whether it's back to back or it's 2 days apart, have them put up another post. And then you're going to go ahead and use the 3-way texting Dane Espergard program, and you're going to go ahead and work through that SMRA list with them. The bonuses that we do in Fairfax is a $50 bonus for every rep that gets interviewed, trained, launched, and hit their first promo. So the recruiting bonuses that DMs get. We just give it to the SMRA. $10 bonus for every SMRA that gets interviewed, trained, launched, and shows up to their first shift. I think our highest bonus that we paid out was like $100 or something. And it was like one SMRA who got 2 bonuses in there. Yeah. So it'll map out with how much you're getting paid off the reps that you get from them. So here's what I do for their list. So let's say someone's got a list, they're coming into training with 60 people. Also, another reason why I like to personalize my training and do it myself, because now I can tell them, hey, you're going to source for SMRAs, people who you think would also be good at the job, and you're going to source for reps. So you're giving me both. Usually what I do, if it's again Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I'm texting for reps. Usually Sunday, I text for reps. I text all the reps, three-way text them. The program's in there too. Biggest thing with that, you want to call them. Again, it's the same thing as doing a voice memo. You're making sure you're real. All right, so your three-way text the reps on Sunday. Monday is the cleanup of reps, starting into SMRAs. And then Tuesday is the cleanup of SMRAs and getting paid at post-ups. That's how the structure goes. So text the list one for categories, SMRAs first, depending on where it is, and then reps. Use the three-way texting team builder program. All the links are linked in here.
Clarification, so when I gave the branches and TMs the schedule, I told them Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Do you do Friday, Sunday, Monday?
I do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for shifts.
Yeah.
Because, for example, you guys are going to be running training Thursdays and Fridays.
So TV does the Friday training.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have their first shift Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah, are you talking about for training or shifts?
Shifts.
Yeah, shifts Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
So you're doing four total 3-hour shifts.
No, I do 3 2-hour shifts.
Gotcha.
Just because I don't have that much time.
Plus the 3-hour training.
Yeah, plus 3-hour training.
Gotcha. So it's 10 hours.
Yeah, that you're paying them out for. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, no, it's 9 hours. Yeah, so that's right. 9 hours a week, but then it drops down to 6 hours a week. So you want to make that clear with them too. All right, so going back to this, same thing. If you're texting and three-waying them and they say, hey, no, they already have another job or they're not interested in the position, you get about, again, a 50-50 response rate. You send them the pay to post stuff. It's the same thing as Instagram. Hey, I actually have a small marketing budget. And then you can get more pay to post from there. Results and recognitions. Again, I do a 2-hour shift. So usually my intro of everything takes about an hour and we're actually doing SMRA work for an hour. The next shift is entire 2 hours. I'm doing SMRA stuff. Next shift, entire 2 hours. I'm doing SMRA stuff. So you're going over results and recognitions. Hey, how many are set for interviews? You want to make sure they feel important, like they're actually like at a results-based job where it's like, oh, okay. Cause like, let's say you guys are my SMRA, you get like one person set up for an interview. Is that going to make you feel kind of crappy? Yeah, be like, okay, like I want 5. Especially when you have multiple people on your shifts. Now you're saying, oh, you got 5, 5, 5, 5, and then 1. Yeah, that looks a little weird. So how many are set for interviews? Go through everyone that applied through their link. So in the beginning of the shift, when they put up their social media posts and they introduce the link in there, you want to go through each one and be like, hey, do you know this person? 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 One of my best SMRAs, Megan Lynch, she had like 11,000 followers on Instagram I'm pretty sure she was from Bristol Procano. Yeah, best SMRA I've ever had. She had like 100 people apply in 2 hours. And I went through every single one of them. And I was like, do you know this person? And the ones that she did know, granted, most of them she didn't know. The ones that she did know, I had her send them a message, be like, hey, good luck for your interview. Super excited. As a little extra bonus, I was like, sweet, I'll give you 10 extra bucks. Go through each one of those and go ahead and do that. All right, so go through everyone who applied and recognize them for what they did. Again, if they're bad results, do the Oreo method. Build up, squash down, build up. If they're good results, build up, squash down, build up. Always want them expecting more. And then action steps. So here's how I set up my shifts. During my training, I'm setting up just my first shift. During my first shift, I'm setting up my second and third, and then the next week shifts if we have to. That way I have a clear kind of like type of thing on it's like, hey, like I know you're going to show up to your second shift because you showed up to your first. That way I'm not scheduling someone because someone flakes on me. So action stuff, set up their second shift on there. Make sure their caller agreement is signed, by the way, the SMRA caller agreement, it's in there. That way you have it. It's kind of like, I don't know why they do that, Andy. Like signing an agreement. It's kind of like rep paperwork. Yeah. So like, hey, you're an employee here. Business Venmo, make sure they have it set up by their second shift because by the end of the week, you're going to pay them through Business Venmo. Also finish expanding the top 20 list. So if they come from training, let's say they come from TB's training, they only have like 30 people on your list. Great, you message like 20 of them today. Hey, next shift, come in with 40 people on your list. Next shift, come in with 60 people. Throw out some contests too for the first day, during the shift, and for after their shift. Second shift, this is where a lot of managers that I've seen do SMRAs drop off a lot because they have no idea what they're doing on their second and third shift. They're like, yeah, let's DM people maybe. So your second shift, again, you're building a rapport, you're going over very quickly expectations on what you're doing through a shift. And then you're going through the impact. So usually on the second shift, what I go ahead and do is I have them do the Snapchat blast through Mikhail's program. And I have them finish off with sending text to either the rest of the rep cleanup or SMRAs. So I'm going into the second section of their list. And the same thing, the entire hour and a half, you're texting people, you're calling people, you're setting PRs. That's all you're doing. Good tip to have when you are setting PRs through the three-way texting program, make sure you're unmuted. They like, in my case, my SMRAs want to know what I'm saying. So like they know I'm not like, saying something wrong.
They're also hearing verbiage, what to say.
Yeah, and they're learning from you.
Yep.
So I always have them on mute. This is what I do. I like say, hey, like, how are you? Glad we got in touch. I actually have Kristen on Zoom. Kristen, do you want to say hi? And then I'll have my SMRA say hi through the phone. So I'm like, yeah, I'm actually on a shift with her. Like, go ahead and say hi. And they're like, oh my God, hey. So it just seems a little bit more low key and more fun to be on. So I'm texting, calling, and sending PRs for the rest of the hour and a half with them. And then I do the same thing. I go over results and then firm up for the next shift. Third shift, I do it as my last shift. I think I'm going to change this and add a fourth shift this summer. But usually it's my last shift because I didn't figure out how to get them to 60 until like the start of the summer. So my third shift, again, I build a report. I go straight into the impact. I have them create another post. And now we're either going for the rest of the SMRAs, getting set up for interviews, and then I switch it to pay to post. So usually my last shift, now I'm getting my SMRA to get me more pay to post up. I usually do a bonus. And I do like, hey, every 10 pay to post that you get up for free, by the way, I'll give you a $30 bonus. Usually they never get to 10, they get to like 4 or 5. But I'm like, hey, every 10 free pay to post that you get up, I'll go ahead and give you a $30 bonus, and I'll make it seem like super easy. So I'm like, yeah, like you can this doesn't have a cap on it. If you like, come on, Jules, if you give me 50 pay to post up, I'm gonna give you $500. And they're like, oh my gosh. So they get a little bit more into him.
And when you mean free pay to post, what is like?
Yeah, you can either pay them for pay to post. It's probably the way we should go. But here's what I like, most of my SMRAs, I'd be like, hey, like you're messaging people, hey, do you want to make a quick $10? Do you want to make a quick $10? Or if it's free, it's be like, hey, like, but usually it's like roommates or like siblings that they ask. They're like, hey, can you put this up for me? Can you put this up for me? And then you don't have to pay them. Most of the time you will have to pay them. Be like, hey, do you want to make a quick $10? Hey, do you want to make a quick $10? All of that stuff. So third shift, you're finishing up with SMRAs and you're getting more pay to post up. That way you're still expanding your recruiting network high and high and high. And then the third shift has all the three-way messaging, like the verbiage for SMRAs. And then important keys for, yeah, this has everything that you need in it. For your third shift, this is now when you're talking to them about the rotational position. So these are the 3 ways that they're going to go into, and this is how I tell it to my rep. It's like, hey, most of our representatives actually most of our SMRAs actually turn into representatives and actually go through the rep training job to make a lot more income because now they know what the rep job is. Some of our representatives go into what we call a receptionist assistant position. It's kind of like a front desk job. And the very small percentages of our SMRAs, they end up just parting ways with us and they finish up SMRA work throughout like little times of the summer. So that's how I word it for my 3. When we're going from a shift to rep training, it's the same thing. You want to build up the rep training. So now they already know about it and they're already messaging for it. And at this point, they've probably seen at least one of their friends go through it and like hit their first promotion. So now they're going to want to. Now, the transition again isn't super high, but at this point, you have already gotten a whole bunch of their network. I don't really care if that rep goes through or that SMRA goes through rep training. It'll be great, but I have the rest of their network. Like, I'm fine without it. Again, it's the, hey, you need me, I don't need you. So most of the time, again, if you make it exciting, and the way my shift slides are like put into there is I have pictures of the team. I've got pictures of me and the staff. I'm gonna add a whole bunch of new pictures from the summer so they know it's like, hey, I have a team. I did all my SMRAs virtually. I'm gonna change it, do all my SMRAs in person. A good thing that I learned from Matt Rizzo is when he had SMRAs, their last shift on Thursday or on Tuesday, he'd have them show up to their Wednesday team night out. And like, even if it was virtual, he'd be like, hey, actually come join us at team night out tomorrow so you can actually meet the team. And then they have rep training Thursday, Friday. That creates retention of it.
You wanna have somebody who's not you, who's some of one of their peers teed up to talk to them at team night out. So when they're team night out, Charlie would go up to him and be like, hey, I heard you might be interested in the rep position. It's awesome, dude. I made like $2,000 last week.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, sick, actually. Like, I didn't think I could do it. They're like, oh, I think it's super easy. Like,
Yeah, it's all the napkin talks.
So with that, so you're saying after they're going into not their first week, but their next week, after that Tuesday, you'd be, hey, come tomorrow.
Yeah, so when you're going off your last shift in the interview, or no, the SMRA Jeff Gamboa video, it says that you waive all interview processes. So you don't have to set them for an interview. I just set them right into training because they already know about the positions. They've already learned about it and they've seen their friends go through it. So I put them straight for third shift and I just set them for training. And that's all I do. And this summer, which we should have done this past summer, but I'm going to have them show up to team night out. That way, if they have training the next day or the next week, they're already tied into the team. So they're more likely to show up. So that's if they're going into the rep position part. So if you engage them enough and make it fun, and by the way, guys, on my shifts, like I'll let you know, like I'm not 100% professional. Like Andy knows this. Like when I run an SMRA shift, like I'm running around the office and I'm like, hey, like come check out. This is my office. This is the main room. Hey, like this is Kristen. This is one of our assistant managers. Like I'm like being like super friendly, bubbly, all of that stuff. And a thing that I used to think SMRA shifts were kind of like my escape, where it's like if I was setting PRs or running training all day, great, now I can have fun. So you don't want to make it boring. No one wants to do anything boring.
you don't want to give them a task, be like, all right, cool, you're gonna text these 20 people, I gotta go.
Yeah,
And
no.
just turn off your camera. That's not fun for them.
Yeah, no. Like I'll tell them about my day. Like I did this a whole bunch when I was doing them virtually back at JMU. Like I had like four shit. Like this was one of my days. I had like 5 SMRA interviews back to back. I had 1 SMRA shift, 2 SMRA trainings, and another SMRA shift after that. It was like a 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. day when I didn't have classes. Like my days were stacked. I wanted to jump in front of a bus because I was so tired. But you can't show that on a shift because if I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and like do this and we'll have you text like a whole bunch of people, all this stuff. No, they're not gonna want to work with me. And so if I like when I was at JMU and I was doing like my SMRA shift and be like, oh my gosh, let me tell you about this crazy story I just had. I just came back from the dining hall and this like dude was like running around and all this stuff. Like, let me tell you about it really quick. So it's like they're my friend basically, even though I'm their manager, but we're friends. You're gonna think I'm your friend, even though I'm not. Sorry. So I make it fun and enjoyable that way for their next shift. And when they refer other people, they're like, yeah, like my manager's super cool. Like we just talked about getting our nails done yesterday. That helps you out a lot. So you can dock down the professionalism a little bit, but you always hold yourself above. Does that make sense? To make them connect more. All right. And then the last thing that I would say after their shifts is just managing and developing them. So that comes from putting them into the rep position or the receptionist position. The main goal is to make yourself so likable so that you can't leave me. It's like, hey, it's like you never leave. You like it doesn't hurt leaving the job. It hurts leaving the people. So like Natalia, great example. She trusted me. I was her friend. We like talked not about work stuff. And so when she left, she was like, hey, I still want to do things. Like I'm just not too sure. So it's like it's harder to leave me when we're friends, basically. That keeps them around longer. And that way you can develop them longer. With that too, if you do it correctly, you should have no issue turning them into a rep or an SMRA. If you don't do correctly, they're gonna quit once you're done. So I think we had like Izzy. Izzy was my SMRA first, and then when she came back from school, she went into rep training, and she stuck with us for like 3 months without selling anything. Yeah, she was terrible. Literally did not sell like anything, but she loved it because she loved the people. And I created that relationship so early, so she didn't want to leave. I think when she left, she was like crying. She was like, I don't want to leave. I was like, don't worry, girl, I know. So like Izzy's a great example. Who else? We had oh, one thing you guys can do too. Sorry, I'm going on like a tangent. But if they're an SMRA, let's say you're doing a shift, like a last minute shift on Wednesday, have them come in person. Have them come and see the team meeting. We did it with Jess. She was a Bishop O'Connell student. I worked with her in the back room and I was like, oh, by the way, here's the team. I got her involved with our team meeting theme. It was like college day. And I was like, wear your college shirt. Like, I want you to meet the team, all that stuff. So those are just simple ways that a lot of people forget about because you try to do everything so quickly and so professionally that you forget how to build a connection with someone. And so managing everything, you want to again do the check-ins. This is how you don't lose people. Do the check-ins, review all their results and recognition, give them feedback. Like if no one's responding, be like, hey, give them feedback and give them a goal to hit. Give them a standard and a goal. That way they feel good when they hit the standard. They feel better when they hit the goal. You also want to celebrate wins. The biggest thing that I did with my SMRA group chats is I celebrated all the wins. So like Megan, for example, when I had like an SMRA group chat of like 20 people and I was like, hey, like Megan, she just started. She got 100 applicants in one shift from her SMRA post. Like, great job, Megan. And all my SMRAs like the message, be like, oh, good job, girl, all this stuff. Contests too, make your people feel good. People like to do more things when you offer something for them. So contest, recognition too. It's all the little things, guys. If you never recognize them, they're gonna want to quit. And also, I think one thing, I don't know, Andy, if you're gonna touch on this, but how to fire SMRAs. Do you want me to go over that?
Okay, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Really firing, it's just like, yeah, I don't have any shifts for you, but not employees.
Yeah. That's basically it. Or if someone wants to like keep working, it's kind of like just how you like fire a rep. If someone wants to keep working, but you don't really get any results out of it, hey, like looking back at your results, I think it's best we part ways. I appreciate your work, that you did with us here, and hopefully we can reconnect at a later time. Same thing with SMRAs too. If you don't, if someone's like saying some stupid stuff in like your group chat or like on the shifts or anything or negging other people out, it's like, hey, sorry, like you're not a good fit. I think it's time for us to part ways.
We'll take a break. Do you want to answer now this question?
From converting them from, so I do the exact same PR script. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so what we've been using, you actually sent it to me a couple months ago. We've been using like your three-way text.
The Dane Espergard program?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've just, I don't know if it's quality of SMRA or what, but we have a really hard time converting, because like my last SMRA that I did gave me 155 initial contacts.
Good. Okay.
And then we texted through all of them and scheduled one for interview.
You're also doing it during the spring and fall, which is a lot harder.
Yeah.
These kids are in school, don't need a job, aren't looking for a job, don't want to work.
Okay.
So is it that they just didn't respond to your text, or you set them and didn't show up to the interview?
They're not responding to the text. They're not showing interest.
Okay. So do you have them do you have the SMRA send a heads up text and then you send the three-way out?
We did that at first. A couple of them as well. I can read it to you. Most of it was like three-way texting.
So like my question to you is, are you making sure they 100% sending the heads up text? Like you're sending the heads up text to these 20 people, then I'm going to text them.
In the three-way text or before?
Like before, like the SMRA is sending to you their recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you need to do first. So they're probably not responding to your three-way text because it's catching them off guard.
Okay.
And they're probably thinking, hey, this is spammy. I didn't have any heads up about this.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's in that script too. It's like a basic heads up text where it's just like the SMRA sends, hey, I just started this new job. blah, or no, I don't remember what it says, but it's like, hey, like,
Hey, give my manager your number.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you up, but you can fit. If you're not interested, just respond either way.
yeah,
So that's the key. The text says just respond either way. And then once they text those 20, then you send the three-way text. And then
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's clear to the doc or not, but you want to call those people.
yeah, so, the,
You could also call the three-way text and be like, hey, just want to see if you got my message, blah, blah, blah. Like you can phone jam through all the three-way text.
Okay.
That'd be just kind of follow up. And
Mhm.
then they're like, oh yeah, I meant to respond, but, and then you can convert them, or
yeah,
then you hear the reason. And if it's all, oh, I'm in school, I'm not looking for a job. Oh, I'm in school, I'm not looking for a job. Then you know, all right, cool. Hey, it's just timing. So
Okay.
what Zach was saying at the beginning of training, I think is relevant. You don't want to use, like, how many SMRs have you done?
Not like I hate.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's not okay, it doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? It's just, it's not working because of timing, time of the year. It also could be who the SMRs are, like if they're not a credible person.
Mhm.
That might be the conversion. If you got someone who's super popular, like that Megan girl, like, oh, Megan works here, yeah, I'll check it out.
yeah,
That was the
Versus-
biggest thing was, I think when we got Megan and Cam, I sent those to her because I couldn't reach out to them just because I knew them.
yeah, Megan, Cam, Jess, Cameron,
They're all
and Mackenzie,
like old,
all from Graham.
like old names that I put down, but I'm a dude and just going out like,
Clarify, a dude with a bad Instagram.
Yeah.
yeah,
Really
and it was
shallow.
also, I wasn't like really ready for it, so I gave them all to her. She went out, did like all like the liking their stuff and all this stuff. I mean, they went to school with Cam, so it was a little bit easier. Then Cam was friends with Megan. which
He was
is
friends
easier.
with Jess, he was friends with.
So
That's like during summertime, we got a larger conversion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they were just like, and they like, they did it for third shift and then got his names and that was it.
yeah,
Is if instead of a handful, if you did like 12 of them,
Yeah.
and you got one or two to hit, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Yeah.
It's get SMRAs from them. And try and expand the program. The cool thing is you're not paying for it, Caleb's, so.
yeah, but you need to make sure you're sending the heads up text. They have to, so, yeah, you have to.
I'm not paying for it. Neither is he.
Bro, oh my god, oh my god,
Okay.
You don't do that.
oh my god.
You've done like.
Yeah, but he's like, hey, look.
What
do you have?
Let me tell you, if you don't do SMRAs, you're stupid.
Here's something else, it's like, it's a lead gen, it's like. You put one unit of effort into something and it brings you more, I just don't want to convince you of that, I'm just telling you that. The other part of this with conversions too, it's like, you wanna treat those calls, this is another good thing to think about, is when you get SMRA leads. Treat those calls as the only, like that one call you're on is the only lead you have, so I was set up as a PR. I thought I was the only person who's recommended for this job because the girl did such a good job of me setting me up for an interview, right? So if you're SMRA, instead of, I don't know how long your calls are with them or anything else, but like for me, like sometimes they're 5 minutes, but I try to make them longer because I want to be like, it's a one-on-one thing versus I'm calling a shit ton of people.
Were you
Yeah.
calling them or just texting?
And that's-
Oh, you need
and
a
that's why
call.
I got killed on that, by the way, I first started doing it, was text.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we only had like a couple people show interest.
Wait, what do you mean calling?
hold on,
So
let me
they show-
explain.
They show interest, you call them, hey.
Oh,
Grant,
yeah, that's what we
Yeah, show
did.
me.
Okay, yeah. Once they
Yeah.
show interest, then a call. I was like straight cold
Yeah,
calling.
if you text them and set them up like that, they'll set with you, but they will not show.
Yeah. So you're probably not getting that many responses because one, they're blindsided by the group chat, and two, you're not calling. So I always, when they say, yeah, I'm interested, I say, sweet, can I call you in 2 minutes? And then they say yes or no, and then I call them immediately.
You're gonna have a way better response rate the moment they give you any interest, call. Don't wait, don't do any of that stuff. There's a saying when it comes for like when leads come in for like any sort of business, if you get in contact with them within 5 minutes, you're gonna get in contact with 384% more people than if you didn't. So
Yeah.
if you wait an hour, you're gonna cut that by about half. That's why when applications come in on our Google forms, it's like hit them immediately because you have
Yeah.
4% more that you sat for.
Okay.
Show up.
Texting them is easier and faster, it gives you lots of results. Calling them, it takes a minute or two longer maybe, and you get way better results from it.
And when you call them too, you get to build a relationship with them. And
Yeah.
if they give you the scam shit, they like already trust you because they've heard your voice that you built rapport.
Mhm.
They know you're not next. It's like probably the wrong words to say there, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're seen as like, you're seen as so discredited.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I stole her voice memo. I just literally did exactly. I literally on my script, on my nesting script is literally your thing. I just scripted it out. It took me like 15 minutes to script it out.
Yeah.
I went word for word on it, and it worked. It worked like that. I mean, it was unbelievable.
And calling them is just a simple PR call. Like it's the same thing as a PR call. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. So here's where I went wrong too. When we get a whole bunch of like SMRA applicants, I always text them just because it's faster and it's a little bit easier. My show rate is pretty good. When I text them, I've also been doing it for a really long time, so I know how to create a connection over text. But in my case, I'd have a way better show percentage if I called all of those people and just called them. Even if they apply through the link, you call and be like, hey, I saw you just applied through summerstudentwork.com from Natalie's story. Yeah, I'm just calling you to set you up for one of those information sessions.
Yeah.
And then it takes like a minute or two extra. And then when you're three-way texting, you just put all that work into building credibility with your SMRA. If you don't do it with their recommendation, you're going to lose all the credibility. Then you're going to lose your SMRA.
Okay.
So biggest thing, it's always a back and forth type of thing. So Natalie, you're my SMRA and I'm the manager. So first things first, you're sending out a heads up text, not with me. You're just saying, hey, my manager's Vicky's going to reach out to you, the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then almost immediately after, I'm sending the three-way text. So I'm putting the recommendation and the SMRA into a group chat, and I'm sending that copy and paste text message. Immediately after, now you're sending a supportive message, which says, hey, I think you do great, check it out.
Yeah.
And then once they respond, I take it from there. In the group chat, yeah. So everything's done in the group chat except the heads up text message.
Is that similar for like the rep position?
Yeah.
The same process for SMRAs as
Mhm.
well as the rep position?
Yeah.
And then the Taylor Beth Walker thing, they make their own list, right?
Yeah, no, they make their own list. Mhm.
Okay.
With Taylor Beth, only thing is she manages so many people that you can't specifically be like, hey, get to 60, hey, get to 70. If I'm training them personally, I'm making the minimum get to 60.
She's done a better job of that.
Yeah, she's done way better.
To get in.
Yeah.
We haven't used her program.
Yeah. No, her program's great. Like I love Taylor Beth. She's one of my favorite people. Her program's amazing. When I don't have time for SMRA training, they're going into hers. And I still get the same exact results from it.
And then do you meet with them? You meet with them after they're in her training? Then oftentimes.
Yeah, so right after so training is from 3 to 6. Usually I'm in rep training. So when I get a break, I'll text each of my SMRAs afterwards. Hey, great job on completing training. Give me a little like debrief, like what did you learn? All of that stuff. That way I'm having immediately interaction with them. And then during that text afterwards, I'm like, hey, let's go ahead and set up a call. Let's go ahead and set up your first couple shifts.
Okay.
Because one of Taylor Beth's assignments after SMRA training is that, hey, text your manager. And it's like text your manager, update them, and ask when to set up first shifts. That's what she does a really good job about. So they usually text me first, and then I immediately respond back when I have a break
Okay.
with them.
And then that's when and then like your shifts after that are just to actually go through the list that they've already created.
Yep.
And text them, they do the heads up text, you do the rest of the texting,
Mhm.
and do the paid post.
Yeah. So I shared, while you were gone, I shared my SMRA shifts in my script from it. The slides in the script that have step by step, including all the documents in there. That way, all you have to do is just follow it step by step, and it'll show you exactly what to do on each one of the shifts.
Okay, and that's
Mhm.
assuming that they went to the Taylor Beth program.
Yeah, or your training, either one. I think you missed this too. I was telling them, I personally like to train them by myself. I get better results from it, and I can create a better connection rather than sending them from me to someone else back to me. It's just me. And then my shifts are kind of normal. So it just allows me to create another connection. Also, my SMRA trainings take like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Taylor Beth takes 3. Yeah,
Okay.
way longer.
It's like 30, 40.
Yeah, and so with that too, she trains a whole bunch of people. I'm just training 1 to 2 at a time, so I can focus a lot more of my energy into making sure their results are to what I want. instead of like a whole group
The
thing.
shifts are up there, but the difference is Vicky does Friday training
Mhm.
or Saturday training if you're running training.
It depends. If I interview them on like Monday, I'm training them on Tuesday.
Yeah, you don't really want
Yeah, you don't want to wait.
to, but then she does Sunday, Monday, Tuesday shifts.
Understand the SMRA program.
Mhm.
I've done it a couple times, and the only thing that I really get from it is like just basically break their personal network and then pay post.
Mhm.
And I think that's like the overview of it, but I feel like I'm doing it in a way that's not as productive as it could be, which is
Mhm.
why Caleb doesn't believe in it.
Well,
Probably. Plus
here's the
just like
thing.
to put the money out.
Yeah. Caleb believes a lot in Team Builder. Team Builder is great. It's perfect. You can get a lot from Team Builder, but
You get a ton from Team Builder.
yeah, you can get a ton
It's
from
how I
Team
built
Builder.
off.
But the ceiling of it is kind of capped out a little bit.
Well, there's a ceiling of it if you don't recruit anybody because you don't have more reps Team Build.
Mhm.
So, like, that's how I built Chesapeake. And that's how I built here, is doing that.
Like imagine, like I love team building,
Mhm.
but I 10 times my results because I have SMRAs. So we probably would have done half the summer that we did if I just team built everyone.
Okay.
Well, also if
Um,
you don't have anyone to Team Build.
Yeah, if you don't have anyone in team build, how are you gonna build a team?
So the reason also what Caleb remembers, by the way, when he was in my office in 2024, I gave the AMs a assignment where I was like, all right, part of your responsibilities are to team build one new person a week. I'm sure he probably gave you all that same one. And okay, well, I taught him the team builder program. I taught all the AMs the team builder program, Caleb included. I said your job is to team build one new rep a week, and that is your job. And we built the spring that way. But the thing he, I guess, maybe forgot or whatever, is that we also were setting 65 PRs a week every week for 16 straight weeks. So I was launching 5 or 6 kids a week, and so they had new people every week to do it with. So in Chesapeake, that's exactly the same thing. We recruit a lot. I taught my M's the exact thing, and that's how we're having a $750,000 office in Chesapeake with no CSPs from Team Builder. So it's like Team Builder is fantastic. You just have to have new people. That's like the point.
Yeah.
Question. Do you do team builder in training? I know I asked this last week and I don't remember.
You
it.
mean what do you
Like
mean?
the team builder, like the vector.
Oh well, yeah, I do that.
Yeah, vector
That's how I get the PRs. Yeah.
Do you do team builder in AT1, right?
I do the team builder talk at AT1, kind of like explaining it to them.
The
You're gonna get some scoop ups, and
Eventually.
then I really hammer it like one-on-one with people.
Oh,
Usually in
okay.
their first weekend, not in their first weekend, but usually their first team meeting on a Wednesday.
Okay.
So that way on Sunday, I have through a text to do.
So you're asking for PR from training.
Of course,
And
yeah.
then you do the talk for 81. And then you meet with them personally and like.
For the ones I really
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. I'll do it with everyone, but I do it with the ones I want.
Yeah.
So
But it's the same thing like I said earlier. You like there's not like set in stone cap of how many people that you can team build, but there always is a cap. Because if you don't, like let's say it's just a rep, you can go ahead and like if it's a rep, I can team build one of my reps to maybe get me 10 people set for interviews.
Mhm.
Because in reality, it's not a requirement that you have to team build. If they're a social media recruiter, your sole purpose in life right now is to help me recruit.
Yeah.
So at least in Nova, every territory is different, but Nova, people really get weirded out when you team build them if they're not SMRA, just because people in Nova, they're preppy, they're rich, and like every single person's like a twat, basically.
Okay.
They're like stuck up, basically.
Yeah.
So most of the time when I ask them to team build, sometimes it's like, yeah, I'll do it, but it caps out.
Yeah.
But in SMRA, it's literally their entire job to help me recruit.
Yeah.
And that's their sole purpose. And also going out as a new DM, you have advertising, but you won't have a lot from it.
Okay.
So your main thing is to SMRA. Caleb's a little different. He went out during the winter where we were doing divisional winter recruiting. So he had a lot more to start up as.
Yeah.
Rather if we're going in the summertime, which is better because you get people who are more open, but you also build yourself from SMRAs.
So,
That's
I was gonna say, like, has there ever been a time for you where it's like, oh, you might have hit like a dry spell, or like, oh, like personally, like recruiting is like being a bit difficult. Like, how would you like navigate that?
find an SMRA. Those are like yeah, so like for example, this past week, we don't have a great team right now. Launches have been kind of crappy. So I needed to find a way. Hey, I need to get people into training. So I took my best rep that I have right now that she's not selling too much, but she has a good social media profile. Claire Patterson, she was check.
I don't even know any of it.
But I'm putting her into SMRA training so I can get her network in it while she's still selling. Granted, I already had her on the team and she likes social media, but that's like 20% of people. So that's why I'm so into SMRAs. One, because I was an SMRA PR, Mikhail was an SMRA PR, and some of my best reps have been SMRA PRs because they're the best network ever. But I did you too, and you had in your training, you had like 3 people in there, right?
What?
You had Peyton that you knew in your training?
Yeah, I mean, but what I did, I took, y'all didn't even ask.
Yeah, you took it onto yourself, which is great.
I just like, my training, I was just like, hey, I got a couple friends, can I like refer them? And Vicky, her boss was like, yeah, we see if we have some space on the team for
If you
them.
want.
Go ahead.
While she's like, in the background, she's like, yeah. They were sending like a text of Andy, like,
I was like, I need this kid to team build.
like
Oh.
literally, like that's exactly what happened. Like,
Yeah, but my personal opinion, SMRAs is the way to go. I think every other manager that you'll talk to, SMRAs is the way to go. Anyone outside, like if you talk to like the top managers, Jess, Victoria, Amir, they all SMRA. Taylor, Katie, SMRA, and they're the best people in our company. They ship a lot because of SMRAs. Like Jess Shannon. I'm cross training with her. I'm so excited. But Jess, I think 2 weeks ago, she had a 30K new business week in the fall, all from SMRAs. So imagine like this is the way I like to word it. So team building, let's say you get 10 people. What if you team build and SMRA? Now you have 30 people. So what's better, 10 or 30? 30 people. So that's why I'm so hardcore about SMRAs, because you can scale your business really, really high if you have SMRAs. Your business only goes so much if you just team build. If you have a really big team building is great. If you don't have a team, SMRAs is the way to go. You get a lot more network in it. You just have to believe in it. So like
Better results from that than campus.
Oh, I get way better results from campus no, I get better results from SMRAs than campus, because campus you're literally cold outreaching and being like, hey, take a car, and you're kind of guessing on whether they're gonna show up or not. If you have an SMRA, now you have credibility.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, like this girl's on my team. I want all her friends on the team. So like, for example, like Megan Lynch, my best SMRA, her friends wouldn't have joined the team if I didn't have Megan as an SMRA. I could reach out to them, but my response of them actually showing up to the training is going to be way lower than if Megan tells them to. So it's all about that. So I believe very, very highly in SMRAs. I think it's the way to go. And because like Florida United, yeah, they're huge. Guess what? Half of them are SMRAs. Matt Risso, the #1 PSM, who did, I think, a 700K new business summer as a PSM in the pilot. He was an SMRA PR. I think Victoria was an SMRA PR. Jess was too.
Okay.
So you look at like the best people, what are they doing SMRAs? If you look at some of our district managers from last summer who didn't do SMRAs. So I think me and Kaylin were the 2 people in the division who did the most with SMRAs. I had the best results in the division.
With
Yeah.
SMRAs.
Yeah, Kaylin's
If you look at
pretty
your
good
screen,
SMRAs.
like I'm literally like every day it's new people. Like
But it's all about stats. Like if you look at the quantums, Fairfax's, as like I'm gonna call Caleb out, but like Fairfax's like new business results way higher. Guess what we had? SMRAs. Caleb's, it wasn't bad, but he didn't have any SMRAs. But could you imagine your office with SMRAs on top of that? How much bigger it would be?
Literally look at this. This is one interview that we ran, and you know she's in Prince William. This is
All SMRA PRs.
PR.
And those are SMRA PRs, not just PRs.
PR. Like she like killed it, and she has like she has a pretty big team building right now. Like
Yeah, like most of her reps from this past summer were SMRA PRs. And I think she was the 3rd highest in the division for new business as a new DM. No, yeah.
in the
Like-
division.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
think it
we're the
went
division.
new business at least. It went,
I would like the region.
Like, no.
I think new business summer, I think it went Caleb, Ash, Kaylin. Or it might have went Ash, Caleb, Kaylin.
For the year for the summer.
Summer.
No, it was Caleb.
I think it was Ash. Ash had like an 100K new business summer. I think it was Ash, Caleb, Kaylin.
Someone, I have no idea.
Would you recommend like reaching back out to someone if you like did recommend them, like if you knew they had like a great like social media presence, but like you reached out to them via rep, and then like now it's like, oh, that was like my top 20 list like a few months ago. You still reach out
Yeah.
back to them for like SMRA positions.
100%.
Carson, I reached out to him when I first started, but then like months later, I reached out to him again and then we got him hired, but you know.
Yeah. It's again credibility too. So like Santi reached out in the beginning when he was new. Santi didn't have much credibility. Now a couple months later, now being in the business, reach out again. We got Carson on the team. So it's all about that, but it starts somewhere and it starts with SMRAs. Campus is only going to get you so much. Yeah. Campus is literally only going to get you so much when you're a brand new DM. SMRAs is the way to go.